on the Keeler Show today.
It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen?
Keeler's always in the know.
It makes me want to call him
And tell him where to go.
And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the motivational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
'Twas the days before Christmas, and all through City Hall, not a creature was stirring, except Mayor Palmieri, who spotted old discarded tires left near the Hannah Park stage, and he was carrying them over to the dumpster.
Is that the mayor over there carrying those tires with his suit on?
Why, yes, it is. That mayor is on fire.
The common council members were all nestled snug in their beds, while visions of sales tax revenues from nanotech danced in their heads. And Mama Palmieri in her kerchief, and the mayor with his perfect hair. Everyone settled in for the cold winter air. When out of Hannah Park there arose such a clatter, the mayor sprung from his desk to see what was the matter. Away to the window he flew like a flash. He tore open those 70s blinds and he threw up the sash. The moon on the fountain was all filled with snow. It sparkled with motion and even a glow, when what to his wondering eyes would it be but an old Kodak limousine with a man in the back seat.
Wow!
With a little old passenger still lively and fast. He popped out of the side door and was a blast from the past.
That's a blast from the past.
More rapid than flying monkeys. His comments they came, and he grunted and he shouted, and he yelled out some names.
Palmieri, Bill Morehouse, Testa, Colosimo, On Buchero, Miola, McKenzie, and Marino. What the hell are you all doing?
He said, "This city's slipping through the cracks. I've come back from the grave to give you some facts." And then, in a twinkling, he was on the second floor. He went to the mayor's office and took off the door. He fumbled through papers and went into a drawer and yelled about fire, police, DPW, and more.
I don't want to talk about the fire department and the police department and the DPW and more.
He was dressed in white from his head to his toes. He sported a comb-over, and he had a pointy nose. He was barking out orders, yet no one was there, as he cut back the budget to a bone that was bare. His cheeks were all rosy, his eyes bulged from his head. He was cussing and cursing. He clearly wasn't dead. Then he looked at the mayor and said, "I'm talking to you." Then he shouted out loudly,
Are sweeps all you can do?
"We need jobs and investment. We need industry and grants. And instead of those sweeps, you should grow flowers and plants." He spoke about Kodak and hot dogs for $1, and then yelled about firefighters joyriding in a city truck. As quickly as he came, he darted from City Hall. He whistled quite loudly, giving his chauffeur a call. The driver moved slowly, or so it did seem, giving the ghost of Aunt Hannah inspiration to scream.
Why do I always have to do everything in this God-blessed city?
I heard him exclaim, and he rushed to his limo without a damn bit of shame. And I heard him bark loudly as he drove out of sight. Happy Christmas to all.
That is, except for that observer disgrace.
And to all, a good night.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
I'd say that's...
Wow! Mommy's kissing Santa Claus!
I'd say that's still pretty topical.
Oh, yeah.
It still works. All right. Well, good morning. It's 6:25, and the day before our big Christmas show tomorrow. We have a lot to get to. Last chance to nominate a family for Tavolo. I was there last night. The food's so good.
It is unbelievable every time. Always amazing, and never disappoints.
They will be feeding 3 families that are down on their luck this holiday season. So be ready for. You can go right to the story on our website at WIBX950.com, and you can nominate a family. After today, we'll be sending over all those nominations, and they will select 3 families that will get an amazing Christmas feast for their Christmas dinner. We'll do that. Also, this morning, we'll talk a little bit about what's coming up tomorrow. There's a great story on our website right now that Don, I don't know if you saw this.
I did.
Don Leibel has done. Have you looked at some of the pictures?
I have, and most notably the primary photo,
which is
the featured image.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's Don Leibel as a young kid in 1975 with Ric Flair.
Nature Boy.
And
right, Smitty? Is that the correct nickname for Ric Flair?
Did you read that? Have you read that story, Davey?
Yes. Yes.
How about those pictures of Don? Now, Don was... Not only was Don a big a fan of WWE and WWF, but he actually traveled with them and served as one of the managers. He was a part of it all.
Be interesting to see what he has to say.
So this morning he's going to talk a little bit about it. 8:30 or so, somewhere around there. We'll get him on the air this morning. This morning also, Josh Eisen is the Republican candidate running against Kirsten Gillibrand.
This is a good grab.
Yeah, and he'll be on in the 7 o'clock hour.
He'll tell us how he has no chance here to win the Senate in New York.
Well, it's going to be a hard hoe.
Yeah. It'll be
right?
interesting, though.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody thought Zeldin would be as close to Hochul
I guess,
last year.
Yeah, right. You're right. So anyway, we'll have that later on this morning, and... also, the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week. The story's up at our website. Hobica's free money question of the day. Want to thank a couple of different groups. First of all, Utica Mac. Every year they're involved in helping Toys for Tots. And this year they donated the Utica Mac truck.
Yes.
An electric Mac truck for kids. And you could be out there in the yard with your garden tractor, and your kid is riding right along with you.
Yeah,
in an electric vehicle.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Both of them are.
Joe Hobica got that for a $500 bid. Dana only got the donation from the Sheriff's Association and Sheriff Mashel, the tractor from Clinton Tractor. You have the exact title, which I should have had all along, and every time I go to write it down, I look to you and you say, darn it, I put that somewhere, and I'll have it for you in a second.
It is the Oneida County Law Enforcement Foundation.
The Oneida County Law Enforcement Foundation.
Yes.
And Sheriff Mashel and Clinton Tractor as well, that played a big role, obviously, donating this every year, and there's usually a family that comes in and picks it up for their kid or grandkid. Dana Olney is the big winner this year. They're going to turn it around and raise more money for the Kurt Wyman Park.
Yes.
So that's pretty darn cool.
How far they've come from the Cozy Coop, which was the thing that I never had as a kid. I always wanted it, but remember the Cozy Coop was red. It was like the red car with a yellow roof, and you had to like Fred Flintstone
Is that
your
what
way.
that was called?
Yeah, the Cozy Coop.
So I remember we got one of the electric trucks for our kids. It was like an electric car,
like
electric
Power
truck.
Wheels.
Very much exactly kind of like what we have here.
Yeah.
But the batteries only lasted for a short period.
Mm-hmm.
They were regular batteries. They were not the the batteries of today, and they had no power.
So they'd get down to the bottom of the driveway and no way to get
It'd be
back.
like, how do you get it up? It just wouldn't have the power. Now these batteries, these lithium batteries, are amazing. You think, well, it's just battery operated. Back then, it's like on the weed whacker, I could reach in there and actually grab the thing that was going around that was whacking the weeds, and it would stop it. Today you do that, it'll cut your hand off.
Right off.
Yeah. Well, of course, these lithium batteries are powering cars today. So, obviously they can handle a little 40-pound, 50-pound kid. Anyway, thank you to Dana Olney and Joe Habiker for both getting in. Thank you to the United County Law Enforcement Foundation, Sheriff Mashel and Clinton Tractor, and, of course, Tom and his kids and everybody over at Utica Mac. Very much appreciated.
And the continued generosity of everybody involved is always really nice this time of year.
It is. Okay, are you ready? Have you done all of your... You were actually celebrating the holidays last night.
I was. A little family tradition, whether it be at the Capitol Theater, which we were unable to attend.
Do you find it in theaters every year?
Yeah, I know the Rome Capitol will do it. They have this thing called Flashback Cinema at Marquee Cinemas, which I got to be honest, I was kind of sad. I mean, nobody was there. I mean, it's just kind of, I remember when the movie theaters were, any night of the week, jam-packed, people were there, and all the major movies were coming out in theaters. Now that's not the case anymore. But it was a good time. I had a mom, dad, sisters. It was a nice time. We saw It's a Wonderful Life. On the big screen.
And then all morning long, Andrew's been really...
My mouth's bleeding, Bert. What did you want, Mary? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around and pull it
can
down.
you imagine watching this movie last night with Andrew doing that each time after... Joe Joseph this morning, should I nominate your families because you guys are so underpaid? Well, yes, Joe. And Mike this morning, Davey's got to be excited about the new wrestling movie coming out, The Iron Claw. What do we know about that?
It's about the Von Erichs,
Okay.
and it comes out tomorrow.
Okay, who are the Von Erichs?
They're the famous Carrie, David, and Kevin Von Erichs about their family. They tragically, 3 of them passed away.
Well, who are they? Were they wrestling? Were they all in wrestling? Were they?
The big wrestling family.
Okay, so they were all man, woman, man.
2 men and a woman.
2 men and a baby,
they're
3
not
men and a kid.
They're brothers.
Oh, they're all brothers.
Yes.
Okay, so there were 3 of them, and they all tragically passed away.
Well, 3 of them passed away. One of them's still living.
Okay.
One of them was here for Toys for Tots years ago for at the Riverside Mall, the Texas Tornado Carrie Von Erich.
Okay.
I got a chance to meet him.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
When you're looking at Don's photos on up on our website, and the story that Don writes about is entitled "True Stories of a Pro Wrestling Junkie" by Don Leibel. And there are, there's the title photo, the main photo that is.
That's Big John Studd right there.
Okay, the next one down is Big John Studd, and you see that Don Leibel is playing Donnie the Bug. He was, which I think at that point
the masked manager.
He was a wrestler, I think. I don't know. Maybe he was. Is that what he was? The masked manager. That goes back to 1991. Then the next photo down is Don as manager Shazam. With one of the many wrestlers he accompanied to the ring, and who is that wrestler?
That's King Kong Bundy.
Yeah.
Where do they come up with some of these names? It's
I don't
hilarious.
know. I mean, Don can certainly talk about it, I guess. Next photo down is a big one, right? That's Donnie the Bug serving as the manager, but with him is who's the wrestler?
I don't know who that wrestler is.
I don't either.
I don't know. He's
Then Don is serving as Donnie the Bug, the manager, and he's with Jason the Terrible and who's
Kamala.
that?
Kamala.
The giant Kamala.
Better known as Kamala.
Kamala back in 1990.
Is that any relation to our vice president,
Yes.
Kamala?
Yes, it might be. And then back in 1990, it's Donnie the Bug along with?
That's Nikolai Volkov.
Okay. He was a Russian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where's Ivan Puchki when you want to see him?
Yeah. The
Was it-
Polish power.
Polish what? The Polish what?
The Polish power.
The Polish Power. Anyway, you can check it out. Look at those photos with Don. What a history he had. And I met Don back in 1983, 82, 81, 1981, when we were doing high school football games in Little Falls on the radio, and Little Falls Mets games. Those were wild, wild days. Some of those days, now when you had to get to a game, let's say you're out in Newark doing a New York Penn League game. You just get in your car and go. And back then, I didn't have the nicest car in the world. I took Don through some adventures.
Did you have your
the
Yugo
Yugo?
at
Yeah.
the time?
It was not a Yugo at the time. I don't know what I had then.
You go where I go.
Anyway, you can check that full story out up on our website at WIBX950.com. And we also have Loka Pandya. You're familiar with Loka Pandya? Very famous motivational speaker. And according to Loka Pandya, you're not going to believe this, but Christmas music might be bad for your health.
I believe it.
Is it possible? We'll speak with it doesn't sound too much like a motivational speaker, does it?
No.
Sounds more like a demotivational speaker.
Well, I'm not sure. And Fox, who helped me book this guest, is not sure if it's a man or a woman, so we will find out. So at this point, we're just going to say
you just booked this.
I just booked this.
Out of curiosity.
Out of curiosity, because I think, can Christmas music really?
Throwing me to the wolves.
No, I'll help you out with it.
Oh, good.
I think it's an interesting topic.
If you've been looking for the weather for the holidays, well, a full forecast coming up for you, but it's going to be, in the next 24 hours, really cold. Temperatures tonight going down in some of the higher elevations will be going down to almost zero. It'll be the coldest night of the year. And then what happens this weekend, we begin another warm-up. By Christmas Day, it'll be close to 50 degrees. Mm-hmm. This would be the, fourth weekend in a row where we have colder temperatures during the week, and then it warms up on the weekend. So that'll be good for the North Country, where they do still have a little bit of snow, and, of course, the ski resorts have been making snow for quite some time. All right, a quick break. Andrew with a quick update on news here and weather. It's 6:37 on WIBX.
At MVHS, our team members fell in love with care long ago. Their lives were changed, and their world has been expanding ever since. In respect, compassion, knowledge, and ability. And it's only just begun. Because fueling the future of care starts here at the Wynn Hospital. Local care on a whole new level. The Wynn Hospital. Unwavering commitment and compassion. Learn more at mvhealthsystem.org. This is for you. The first steps taken in the Wynn Hospital are the first steps of a care experience that stands apart. One where compassion can always be found, where teams are trained to serve you well, and where cutting-edge technology is always at the ready. Because here, you not only receive state-of-the-art care, you have a distinctive care experience, one that is all about your comfort in a healing environment. Welcome to the Wynn Hospital.
Life happens, and at Mohawk Valley FCU, we are here to help you through life's ups and downs. It's not always easy. Life isn't perfect. That's why Mohawk Valley FCU goes above and beyond for their members. With higher interest accounts, superior service, easy loan approvals, and so much more. With locations on River Road in Marcy, in the State Office Building in Utica, and with mobile banking, you'll receive the best service no matter where you are. Mohawk Valley FCU now welcomes all Town of New Hartford employees. Member-focused, member-driven. Visit MohawkValleyFCU.org.
And now a message from Puffs Plus Lotion Tissues. Ordinary tissues can leave you with a red nose, so choose Puffs Plus Lotion for all of your blows. Puffs have lotion to soothe sensitive skin, so you can wipe without wincing. It's a win-win. Puffs have cushiony thickness, which brings relief too, so the days of sore red noses are gone and through. When you're after soothing softness, a nose in need deserves Puffs indeed.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time 640. I'm Andrew Dominio. Right now, 26 degrees under clear skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. A 26-year-old woman has tragically died after she was shot in the head in broad daylight. Officials say Apriona Harris died yesterday after being hit by gunfire last Friday on Dickerson Street in Syracuse. Harris was pregnant at the time, but doctors were able to deliver her baby. Police arrested 34-year-old David Kirby after the shooting, and he's now facing additional charges. New York State will create a commission tasked with considering reparations to address the persistent harmful effects of slavery in the state under a bill signed into law by Governor Kathy Hochul Tuesday. It comes at a time when many states and towns throughout the United States attempt to figure out how to best reckon with the country's dark past, and follows in the footsteps of similar task forces established in California and Illinois. The law, which was passed by state lawmakers in June, says the commission will examine the institution of slavery, which was fully abolished in New York by 1827, and its ongoing impact. The 9-member commission will be required to deliver a report a year after its first meeting. The Utica Fire Department is expected to release an official statement regarding the cause of the fire that occurred on Varick Street. The release of information is anticipated within the next few weeks. Utica Fire Chief Scott Ingersoll stated, however, it's highly unlikely that there will be a cause determined. This is due to the extensive destruction and the subsequent collapse of HK Restaurant and Lounge located at 703 Varick Street. The massive blaze broke out on November 30th. Utica Fire is working with the State Office of Fire Prevention and Control to investigate the cause. And Governor Kathy Hochul has signed off on new legislation aimed at protecting people from the dangers presented by lead pipes. The Lead Pipe Right to Know Act requires that information on lead pipes be made available to the public. It also stipulates the location of those pipes be known so they can be removed and no longer impact drinking water. The governor says this measure will help reduce the risk of New Yorkers being impacted by lead poisoning. WIBX 950 News Time, 6:42. Your weather forecast is according to Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint. Brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today becomes sunny, crispy, cold air, though. Breezy at times in the afternoon, a high of 32. Appropriate as winter begins this evening. Overnight, clear, very cold, a low near 10. Single digits to near zero in the coldest countryside. And tomorrow, plenty of bright sunshine, a high of 34. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
26 degrees under mostly clear skies. It is 6:43.
Justin and Amy from Herkimer heard Mattress Express's commercial for the smart bed by Instant Comfort for months. They kept meaning to come in. Now it was the holidays. They didn't know what to get each other, and they heard the commercial that you get a $1,000 prepaid Visa card or a $2,000 massage chair, so they stopped into our store in New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. They tried a lot of beds, but they picked the Q9 King Flex Head smart bed. Justin liked his side soft. He was an 18. We elevated his head and feet, put the massage on low. He said it was perfect. It was like being in a recliner. Amy liked her side much firmer. Her number was a 38. We elevated the head a little higher, the feet a little lower. She liked the massage on high. They said it was like each having their own bed. They didn't give us a nickel. They qualified and signed up for the 5 years, no interest, no money down. They thought they would take the prepaid $1,000 card, but after trying the massage chair, that was the winner. Stop in today. Get your location at mattressexpressny.com.
The holidays are the happiest time of the year. That is, unless you or your loved ones are miserable because of colds, sinus infections, or allergies. This holiday season, give the gift of better breathing with Navage. What makes Navage so effective? Well, unlike cold and allergy drugs that might take a long time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage provides fast relief from sinus congestion in 30 seconds flat. Navage doesn't just relieve symptoms, it attacks the cause by sucking out the germs, allergens, and viruses trapped in your nose that are making you feel miserable. Best of all, Navage does it naturally, without drugs. Wash away your cold and congestion problems this holiday season. Add Navage to your gift list so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
First News with Keeler in the Morning on WIBX.
Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, riding down Santa Claus Lane. Blitzen, blitzen, all here's a reindeer pulling on a rein. Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright. Hang your stockings and say your prayers, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight. Here comes Santa Claus.
All right.
Santa Claus,
It's,
Santa Claus
our Elvis tradition continues. How about the AG, Attorney General in New York, is suing SiriusXM?
Oh, really?
Did you see why?
I did not.
Claiming it's deliberately hard to cancel your subscription. And Davey, you agree with that? Do you have Sirius?
Yeah, I do.
How long have you been trying to cancel?
For the last month now.
And you can't cancel?
Nope.
Why do you want to cancel?
Because I don't.
You don't listen to it?
I don't listen to it that much anymore.
How much is it costing you? Is it in your car? Do you have it in your car?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it is.
So I realized I was paying like over $40, and so I call. I'm like, "What is going on? How am I paying this much? It's never that much, right?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, we can give you everything you got for $10.
Yeah, how about giving me my money back? Right? And that's
They're like, you were on the Premium Plus plan with 2 vehicles and 2. I'm like, who needs that? I only have 1 car.
Right.
No thanks.
And each one, you get they give you a link. You can listen, take it anywhere you want.
Yeah.
You know, you're paying for it. You might as well.
I got to say that the lady was very nice and helpful, but I mean, everything's hard to cancel.
They're accusing the satellite radio and streaming service of making it intentionally difficult for its customers to cancel their subscriptions. And it's so funny that Davey's trying to cancel right now. I got to tell you, she ought to add some businesses to the lawsuit, and starting with the Observer-Dispatch.
Oh my gosh!
It is impossible to cancel. When you cancel, you don't cancel.
Yeah,
It's
I can't believe what you're going through. And
They're still calling me asking for money.
I bore witness.
Is
that how you say it? Bore witness.
You
bore
were there.
Witness.
You were there when I took the call. I just kept saying, I'm not paying that
You're
bill.
like,
I'm
nope,
not going to.
nope.
No, I'm not going to do it.
That's bull. That's bull. I think
it's
said.
not real. You're making this up. It's not going to happen.
Wrong.
No, you did not cancel, sir. And you owe this amount of money, or we're going to stop your delivery.
Please do.
All right. Is that how you have to stop it? I can't believe it. The Attorney General's office cited affidavits in which customers complained of long waits in an automated system to chat with an agent. Can I tell you the best way, the trick around, this is a little hack of my own.
I think I know what you're going to say.
There is a trick to canceling service.
Yep.
Unless you're dealing with the Observer-Dispatch, and that's impossible.
And they'll find you.
That is impossible. The trick is when you call, you don't ask for customer service. When you call, and it'll say, press 1 if you'd like to add service. Press 1. The person who can add service
can
also take it away.
Nice.
And they will come to you quickly because it's a sale. They move fast on sales. They move very slowly when they're canceling or there's a problem with something. So always say, I want to add service. And then when they say, well, you selected add service. And I'm like, did I really? I didn't realize I did that.
Oh, I'm sorry. By
I'm
the
so
way,
sorry.
cancel.
Cancel my service, please.
I was going to say you can change a number in your credit card information.
That's another thing, too, but I have had them go back to the original one.
Okay.
But that's another way to do it.
So I did the yesterday I spent most of the day, end of the year, going through my bank statements and looking at what I was paying for, whether it be a subscription to something.
Don't talk about this yet, because I have a story coming up about this.
But I've got some experiences with that.
You're stealing my story. By the way,
just borrowing it.
This radio is absolutely free. Even you can watch us on YouTube, wave to the camera, absolutely free.
Sorry in advance.
I can even give you, let's see here, hold on. I can even give you Davey this morning. I've got Davey in a shot. Wave, Davey. There he is. That's Davey.
That's Davey.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. That's Davey. Get out of the way, Andrew.
Oh.
I'm talking to Cuomo. There's Davey.
I'm in the window with Davey every morning.
Okay, you want my next story here?
Yes. Bring it on.
I got to find it. Let's see. You can tell it's the end of the year when all the stories start with top 10. Oh. The top 10 this, the top 10 that, the top 10 this of the year. Every story you see, it seems. So, here it is. So these are, according to CBS Finance News, CBS Financial, here are 4 things to cut in 2024 to save you money. And are you ready? Number 1 is your subscriptions. I think you will be completely shocked at the amount of money you spend on subscriptions.
And unnecessary things, maybe things you didn't know you were still
You're
still
being charged. They love subscriptions because, number 1, it is hard to cancel. A lot of times it's very, very fine print. You got to really search to figure out a way to cancel. Here's the other part of it. Canceling anything, calling for help, calling for customer service, calling for technical support is a mountain too tall to climb.
Yeah.
You're going to be in the long haul for at least a half an hour, and chances are it'll go on much longer than that.
Sometimes it can pay off in the end, because one of the companies that I called yesterday, I'll just say it was Spectrum. I was going to eliminate the cable because we pay for the YouTube TV because we did the NFL package this year, and I was going to eliminate the cable altogether. I was paying $181 for cable and internet, okay, for the 300 megabit, which is a slower internet.
Yeah.
By the time I was done on the call, after saying to the guy, "No, I just want the internet. No, I'm okay. I just want the internet." No, he gave me most of the channels still, a higher internet for $70 a month.
And so you are $230. You're saving $230.
Yeah.
Well, did you say you were at 300?
I was at 181.
Oh, okay.
But I saved.
Must be thinking about my bill.
But I saved after eliminating 2 things, a few other subscriptions.
Well,
I saved myself $350 a month.
The problem is they give you the, you get this for free, you get that for free bundled. But then once that runs out, it goes sky high.
That's when you call again.
Cancel subscriptions, but you got to stay on it. You really have to stay on it. You have to be a wizard at this. You got to be managing your stuff. Otherwise, you are wasting money.
I found I was paying for some website that I used one time. I did the trial thing, and I thought I'm pretty sure I canceled. That was a fun conversation yesterday.
What I do when I order something and I think I'm only going to want it for maybe a month, or you get it for 3 weeks free, and on the 4th week they charge you. I just put it in my calendar that this is going to start charging.
Well, I thought I had, and it was something I was paying $50 a month for the last year.
And you didn't even know.
And I didn't know.
Yeah.
So get through your bank statements and take some time, but it's worth it.
Another one. You subscribe to a magazine to read one article, just what you're talking about, intending to cancel before the free trial runs out, and bang.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, if you want to watch the Buffalo Bills on Sunday or on Saturday night, it will not be on free TV, Davey.
Nope, Peacock.
Peacock. You got to have the Peacock network.
I just canceled that too.
You're going to have to get it back now.
Darn it.
That's the only way you will be able to watch it. There are no other ways.
And it will be Tirico and Collinsworth.
Oh, well, that's okay. I'll pass.
They're not going to be calling.
Do we have it on the radio?
Yes.
I'll listen on the radio.
They're not going to be calling the first game.
So we have Peacock. My wife is all about
I'll need that password.
Peacock. So I'll be sharing passwords with everybody.
These are the games that Al Michaels was supposed to be doing.
And he's not doing it. Nobody knows really why. They're saying it's because he said something about Taylor Swift. I don't think that's true.
I found something. I was listening to something interesting yesterday on the radio in the car on the Sirius radio.
On your paid radio?
That he's trying to get rid of.
Trying to get rid of.
Taylor Swift makes hot cross buns for Travis Kelce every Sunday.
She does.
Yes.
Wait, she sings hot cross buns, or she makes them?
She makes them.
That. P-I-T-C-H.
How dare her? She makes them every Sunday for him.
She does. Are you kidding me?
No.
So this is why you're canceling your subscription.
I cancel too after that.
Breaking news.
Does she put the little, squeeze a little cream on top, or are they homemade?
They're homemade.
Oh, my God.
She makes them every Sunday for him.
I'll bet she doesn't eat them. Have you seen an ounce of fat on that girl?
No.
Nothing.
She hasn't seen a carb in 20 years.
No. She eats water, and that's all she eats.
So if you
she chews on the ice cubes.
So if you don't
give me an ice cube.
So if you don't have Peacock, we will be having the Bills game on here on Sunday.
Okay, we'll have it. If you don't have Peacock, if you don't have it, just give me a call. We'll be sharing passwords later on.
Although a lot of streaming services
don't
are
allow you to.
down
They
on
are.
that.
They come in and they take your TV. They'll take it right out of your house. We caught you.
We smell those hot cross buns.
CBS still has 4 things. So number 1 is cancel your subscriptions.
Yes.
You will be surprised. And by the way, good luck, because the problem today with canceling, I hate to be the big complainer today, but you may have subscribed directly from the service. Maybe you subscribe through Android or through Apple. So there it would be on, like if you have an iPhone, you can look up your subscriptions. But maybe you subscribe directly from the vendor.
Mm-hmm.
And if you did that, you really have to go back to your credit card, and then usually there'll be a phone number. It is a pain in the royal keister to be able to figure out how to cancel everything. CBS also says, don't buy coffee. You could make it on your own at home, is what they're saying.
That is one of my 2024 resolutions.
But I got to tell you, I mean, that's where Daylight Donuts. I'm a big fan of Daylight Donuts because you're not going in there and spending $10 on a coffee. This person said they spend $18.25 a week at Starbucks, and at the end of the year, it's costing them almost $1,000. So they're cutting that expense out. Sometimes though, you got to enjoy life. For God's sakes. You want to make the coffee at home, or do you? But you could buy one of those really nice, expensive.
We have an espresso machine.
An espresso,
and that thing is awesome.
I like those. I'm not going to follow your timeout if you don't mind.
That's okay. Keep it going.
Cancel subscriptions. Don't buy coffee. I disagree. Eat out less. Well, you probably spent a lot of money eating out, but by the time you're done, are you really saving a lot? By the time you buy your groceries. By the time you wash your dishes, you clean everything up.
The gas to get to the grocery store.
Yeah, right. I mean, come on. Live a little, for God's sakes.
Spend a little.
And also cut back on entertainment. Everyone loves a show, but entertainment is expensive. In other words, CBS is saying, don't do anything.
Subscribe to CBS.
Be boring.
Paramount Plus.
CBS is free, but you could subscribe to Paramount Plus. Bottom line, they say, is you can save a lot of money out there if you have to. And there are ways to do it, ways you can pinch your pennies in 2024. So
correct.
There you go.
And I've done it.
Tim Reed and I have said in 2024, make a commitment to getting tested, going through your screenings for cancer. And it was just yesterday that I had the letter from the digestive disease saying it's time for your next colonoscopy. But they're backed up, so you want to schedule that right away. It'll take several weeks in order to get on the list to be able to get in there. So get it taken care of. But if you're here's another tip. If you're having symptoms, let your doctor know. They can get you in quicker. Got a break. News is next to WIBX.
We are proud to serve our country, to serve our local communities, to wear the uniform, to be a soldier, to serve abroad when and where duty calls. We are ready to stand with our brothers and sisters to defend, to serve, to fight. We're always ready. We're always there. We are the New York Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New York Army National Guard.
Topping winter fun in Herkimer County, the Experience County, is Adirondack skiing at Macaulay Mountain, New York's best family mountain. Only an hour's drive north from the Mohawk Valley, Macaulay Mountain and Old Forge has it all. Great slopes and snowmaking, awesome Adirondack scenery, and affordable prices. Big mountain feel and small mountain attitude. It's all wrapped up in the small town charm of Old Forge. Herkimer County. I love New York.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica, Rome, W295DI Utica, Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The day after a Colorado court kicked former President Trump off the primary ballot there. A new Fox Business poll taken before the ruling gives him a big lead in Iowa ahead of the first contest there in January.
Our latest survey of Iowa Republican caucus goers shows Trump at 52% support, his 34-point lead over Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Governor DeSantis has bet everything on Iowa. So far, his efforts appear to be coming up short. Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley now at 16%, Vivek Ramaswamy at 7%, and former Governor Chris Christie of New Jersey, who's not actively campaigning here in Iowa, sits at 3%.
Fox's Mark Meredith in Des Moines, emboldened by that Colorado ruling. California's Democratic lieutenant governor is urging state officials to try to kick the former president off the primary ballot there, citing a Civil War-era constitutional provision the court ruled is a Trump disqualifier for inciting an insurrection in the January 6th Capitol riot. President Biden said while in Wisconsin,
"We saw it all. Now, whether the 14th Amendment applies, I'll let the court make that decision. But he certainly supported an insurrection."
Though there is no insurrection charge in the Trump election indictments, his campaign vows to appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court, calling the ruling undemocratic. Sirens are wailing in Israel as Hamas keeps firing rockets.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is a massive barrage toward Tel Aviv, and you're going to continue to hear these explosions overhead.
That's Fox's Trey Yingst just minutes ago.
Each time one of these rockets is intercepted, you have shrapnel raining down into the city below.
This is the war rages in Gaza. Israel's uncovered a new Hamas command center underground amid talks in Egypt and at the UN to try to stop the fighting with another ceasefire to get more hostages out and aid to civilians in. For the 102nd time since the war broke out, American forces have been targeted in the Middle East, but a rocket fired by Iran-backed militants missed an airbase in Iraq. America's listening to Fox News.
Everybody needs an edge. The other guy is working on his edge right now, whether you have one or not. Testosterone levels are at an all-time low historically, and individual T levels in men decline 1% every year with age. There's a new champion of natural testosterone boosters, and it's called CHOQ, C-H-O-Q. 100% natural herbal extracts with game-changing effects on your energy, mood, and focus. CHOQ Daily's main ingredient has been clinically studied to boost testosterone 20% in 90 days. Supercharge your masculinity with higher T and a massive boost of energy by taking CHOQ's Male Vitality Stack every day. Take the 90-day CHOQ Challenge and reap the benefits of the reigning champion of natural men's health with CHOQ's Male Vitality Stack. For a very limited time only, CHOQ, C-H-O-Q, is giving our listeners a 30% discount with promo code USA. That's CHOQ.com, code USA, for 30% off while supplies last.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time 7:03. I'm Andrew Derminio. We're at 26 degrees here in Marcy under mostly clear skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the year-end New Year's sale, where prices won't get any lower than now, only at My Carl's, located in the New Hartford Shopping Center. A 26-year-old woman has tragically passed away days after she was shot in the head in broad daylight. Officials say Apriona Harris died yesterday after being hit by gunfire last Friday on Dickerson Street in Syracuse. Harris was pregnant at the time, but doctors were able to deliver her baby. Police arrested 34-year-old David Kirby after the shooting, and he's now facing additional charges. There's a new development in the race to see who represents the 50th State Senate District. Democrat Al Sturpey has ended his campaign and instead will focus on trying to win another term in the state assembly. Sturpey also says that he needs time to pay more attention to a personal family issue. The Senate seat is going to be opening up because incumbent Democrat John Mannion is running for Congress. More details will be released soon by the Utica Fire Department regarding the cause of that blaze that occurred on Varick Street. The release of information is anticipated within the next few weeks. Utica Fire Chief Scott Ingersoll stated, however, it's highly unlikely that there will be a cause determined. That is due to the extensive destruction and subsequent collapse of HK Restaurant and Lounge located at 703 Varick Street. A massive blaze broke out on November 30th. The Utica Fire is working with the State Office of Fire Prevention and Control to investigate the cause. A Utica woman is facing charges of animal abandonment after she allegedly drove all the way to Old Forge and left a cat behind a local business. The town of Webb police reported Alicia Ortiz Youngs did this last week but was arrested on December 19th. The abandoned cat was found in a plastic tote behind the Tow Bar Inn on Main Street in Old Forge. Police Chief Ronald Johnston stated the surveillance footage showed the woman petting the cat before departing. The tow bar took the cat in. However, the cat somehow crawled through a tiny hole under the bar into the crawl space and got out. Ortiz Young was located at her house in Utica by officers. She was issued appearance tickets for the town of Webb Court at a later date. And Tavolo, a local restaurant here in Utica, is looking for families to feed this holiday season. If you know a family in need, you can call Smitty or find on our website a way to nominate a family in need. Of course, it will stay anonymously, other than for the restaurant who will be providing the food. Get your nominations in so that you can help feed a family in need this year from Tavolo by Chesterfield. WIBX 950 news time is 7:06. Your weather forecast is according to Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint, brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today becomes sunny, crispy, cold air, though. Breezy at times in the afternoon, a high of 32. Appropriate as winter begins this evening. Overnight, clear, very cold, a low near 10. Single digits to near zero in the coldest countryside. And tomorrow, plenty of bright sunshine, a high of 34. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Right now, 26 degrees under mostly clear skies. WIBX 950 news time, 7:07. Broadcasting from the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk. The Syracuse University football team is going to be taking the field for the final time this season tonight. The Orange are set to take on the University of South Florida Bulls in the Boca Raton Bowl at FAU Stadium in the Sunshine State. SU ended the regular season at 6-6 and will be led again by interim coach Nunzio Campanile. Kickoff is scheduled for 8 p.m. on ESPN. We'll talk to Scott from Kirkville a little bit later on what we can expect from that game. Meanwhile, the Syracuse basketball team will be playing tonight. The 8-3 Orange will take on Niagara at the JMA Wireless Dome. Tip-off is at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it was originally supposed to be 7, but once Syracuse got into a bowl game, they moved it up to 5.
Yeah, they want fans to watch both games. Understandably so. Week 16 of the NFL kicks off on Thursday Night Football with a pair of NFC playoff hopefuls. You'll hear it right here on WIBX. The red-hot Los Angeles Rams will take on the New Orleans Saints in a battle at SoFi Stadium from Los Angeles. That should be a good one, and again, you can hear it right here on WIBX. The Mets have acquired a pair of veteran players from the Brewers. Milwaukee traded Adrian Hauser and Tyrone Taylor to New York in exchange for a minor leaguer, Coleman Crowe. Hauser went 8-5 in 21 starts last season and recorded a 4.12 ERA and 96 strikeouts. Taylor hit .234 to go with 10 homers and 35 RBIs in 81 games last year. Meanwhile, Crowe went 2-0 with a 1.88 ERA in 4 appearances in AA last season. And what else do I have for you? Let's go with this one. Aaron Rodgers officially back on the Jets roster, but will not be returning to the field the rest of the season. 3 weeks after opening his 21-day practice window, the Jets activated the quarterback to make room. The team released fullback Nick Bowden, poor guy, getting cut just so Aaron Rodgers can ride the bench actively. Head coach Robert Saleh confirmed Wednesday that Rodgers will not be taking any regular season snaps. New York is third in the AFC East at 5-9 and will host the Commanders on Christmas Eve for what is sure to be either a snooze fest or a shootout.
There's a trivia question for you.
What's that?
When the Jets win the Super Bowl, saying like in 2 years, who did Aaron Rodgers get replaced on the active roster in 2023?
Yeah. Well, for that to happen, you know, there's a lot that has to happen. Like the Jets winning a Super Bowl in the next 2 years, good luck. Anyway, we got more First News with Keeler in the morning coming up for you on your News Talk and Sports Leader WIBX 950 at 106.9 FM.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. This holiday season, make your home shine with elegance from Adirondack Home Furniture. Wrap yourself in comfort and create warm holiday memories with family and friends on one of their beautiful sofas or sectionals handcrafted for togetherness. When it's time to eat, Adirondack Home Furniture's dining collection will be the centerpiece of your holiday feast. Celebrate a peaceful escape this year when you gift yourself an Adirondack Home Furniture bedroom transformation from the ordinary to a sanctuary of serenity and relaxation. Handcrafted perfection. Experience the magic of the season with Adirondack Home Furniture. Visit them today and let them help you create a home that's a reflection of your impeccable taste at Adirondack Home Furniture. Horatio Street in Utica at the former Riverside Mall. Browse their inventory online at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com. Happy holidays from Adirondack Home Furniture, where quality is not expensive, it's priceless.
I'm Joni Grandy, and I invite you to remember a loved one during Hospice's Light Up a Life Holiday Memorial. With a gift of $10, your loved one's name will be displayed on a holiday tree. With a donation of $100, receive a cardinal ornament to symbolize your support of Hospice's mission.
Hospice and Palliative Care, Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford, 315-735-6484, or visit us at hospicecareinc.org. Hospice and Palliative Care. When you need us most.
With so many mesothelioma lawyers, how do you choose the right firm for you and your family? I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, and here's my advice to you. Do your research. Results matter. Reputation matters. Last year alone, our team recovered over $1 billion for our clients. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited.
Call 800-602-2200. That's 800-602-2200. Call now.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. You need a partner you can count on. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
518-554-0000. 100 Great Oaks Boulevard, Suite 110, Albany, New York, 12203. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer Jaron.
I'm the singer and guitarist in a band, and I use my Cricket phone for everything. It's basically like another band member.
Don't miss a single beat. Switch today and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial. Must bring your number to Cricket on up to a $60 a month voice plan depending on device. Select models only while supplies last. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See store for details.
Hi, it's Benny. And Lenny. As helping elves, we have a lot to do this time of year. But I never panic.
Of course not.
No matter what the big guy throws at us, we got this. Right, Lenny?
Whatever.
We just go to Kinney Drugs. Kinney's got tons of stocking stuffers, fragrance and beauty sets.
Ooh la la.
Toys kids love, and my favorite, candy.
Ugh.
So beat the lines. Get it in a Kinney Minute, and happy holidays from Benny.
And Lenny.
The Helping Elves.
Oneida County Office of Continuing Care has immediate openings for program nurses, starting at over $55,000. Nurses work a 35-hour week conducting patient screenings and home health assessments. Join our team and make a difference. Apply today at OneidaCountyJobs.com. That's OneidaCountyJobs.com.
Only at Mattress Express on select Tempur-Pedic King sets. Get a 75-inch flat screen TV or $600 in free gifts. No one else in New York State has all the brands under one roof that Mattress Express has. Go to MattressExpressNY.com.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Well, I was toting my bag with my computer along Old River Road when along came the radio station van and they said, "Hey, you've got to do the show out on the road." Now, since 1983, I've been broadcasting via remote. From convenience stores to county fairs and parades on flatbed floats. And when the general manager said, "Do you think you know where to go?" kind of made me think, I've been on every single road. Is there one out there that I don't know? Hopping everywhere, man. Hopping everywhere, man. Across the valley, it's a bear, man. I breathe the adder on the care, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Ilion, Stittsville, Middleville, Verona, Paris, Oneida, Ava, Vienna, Little Falls, Yorkville, Barneville, and Boonville, Carroll, Frankfurt, Mohawk, Hartford, Clayville, Mercy, Utica, Whitesboro, Russia, Clinton, Roman, Island, Patton. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. I swim the Erie Canal, man. Counted every lake in Old Forge, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Sylvan Beach, Yorkville, Westmore, Clarkville, Remsen, Barnerville, Sangerfield, and Camden, Waterville, Clayville, Flooded, Castle, Vernon, Annville, Oriskany, Ohio, Columbia to Richfield, Jordanville to Steuben, Springfield, Skyler Lake, Brookfield, Cleveland. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. The turkey joints in Rome, man. Greensboro, Leon, Bleecker, man. Traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been to Clayville, Remsen, New York Mills, Waterville, Court Hill, Lake Delta, Madison, Bonneville, Litchfield, Manheim, Danube, Herkimer, Newport, Poland, Warren, Webb, Anstark, Flying Creek, Morrisville, Fort Lake, Schuyler, Hamilton, Payne, Shadow, Leonardson, and Berlin. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Shot a deer with a Remington gun, man. Lost my brakes on Vickerman Hill, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been to Cooperstown, Schuyler Lake, Gold Forge, Mapledale, Fairfield, Bunville, Wamsville, Stockbridge, Salisbury, Eaton, Edmiston, St. Johnville, Nelson, Turin, Coldbrook, Jordanville, Sharon Springs, German Flats, Washington, Mills, Bridgewater, Quite now I need a chill pill. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Skied down Belle by Alice, man. Saw the lights at Trinkus, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. To be honest with you, I think I've had a cocktail in every one of those cities as well.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
The hell is this?
Wait, just wait.
Oh, Lordy.
It's actually a little preview of what will come after our Christmas show.
Well, not really, though. It doesn't happen until Saturday now.
Yeah. Well, it's still after our Christmas show.
That's true. That's true. So I listen to these commercials they do. Mannheim Steamroller, is that what this is?
Yes.
Davey, that's going to be on noon, starting at noon on Sunday.
11 o'clock on Sunday.
11 a.m. on Sunday.
And then 5 a.m. on Monday morning.
Okay, and it goes all day long, right?
Well, until 12 o'clock when we have NFL.
Okay. Love it. I love the little stories they're doing in their commercial. Did you know that Christmas used to last 12 days? It was 12 days of celebration.
That's right.
But then, unfortunately, in Mother England, they were celebrating too much. It just got to be so much that they began to frown upon Christmas.
Yes.
So people began to celebrate quietly.
Yeah, that's what,
on Christmas Day, and one day only.
That's what I've been working on for the last 2 days.
Yeah, I like those little history commercials they do about Christmas. Quickly, you saved how much money by cutting back subscriptions and that sort of thing?
By paring down on all my subscriptions, combing through the bank account, $350.
A month?
A month.
Wow, that's impressive.
So you got to do
impressive.
it. It's laborious. It's annoying.
Yeah.
A lot of annoying phone calls, but it's worth it.
Mike says, my son got a teaser rate for the Boston Globe newspaper after it was done. They said, now we have to charge you more money. He said, if you charge me more money, I'm just going to cancel. So they keep giving him the teaser rate. When they call back, he does the same thing about canceling. And guess what? He gets the paper cheap. That's the way you got to do it. You got to do it that way.
I'll go a step further. I have a cousin who's married to a guy who will pit insurance companies against one another every year when he's working on budget time. He doesn't care if he'll save $10 a month.
But he wants to save.
Yeah, he'll do it.
Yeah. I got to call my insurance company because our insurance went way up, and I think they're charging me for my kids. My kids aren't driving our cars.
Yeah. Get them off.
Yeah. Or maybe they're just charging it because they know I'm doing the driving. Yep, we know your history.
Oh, this is Keeler? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Actually, here's an
you go.
increase.
And I always say, listen, let me just tell you something. The number of mishaps I've had and didn't turn into you guys, you have no idea.
Saved you guys a lot
I
of
saved
money.
you a ton of money and time.
Like that fence? How about that
You should
fence?
love me for this. Is Christmas music bad for your mental health? Absolutely it is. Here's Loka Pandya. Loka is a motivational speaker who teaches people how to experience joy. And we need a little of it, don't we? Loka Pandya, good morning.
Good, joyful morning, guys. How are y'all doing?
Well, it's
We're
crappy.
joyous.
It's terrible.
Oh, he's crappy.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You save some money. You're joyous.
That's
Yes, we're
right.
saving
I'm
money.
loving it.
We're saving money. So what do you think? Christmas music, what do you think here? Well, I mean, really.
You know, it can go one of two ways. Christmas is all about joy, spreading joy. You see joy written everywhere. But there are people out there that could be triggered by the music. A lot of that triggering comes with lots of things to do, lots of planning, overwhelmed with finances, lots of emotions, lots of family. So people get caught up. As soon as they hear a certain Christmas song, they're like, oh, snap, I've got all these things to do and all these people coming in.
All right, you're describing someone I know very well, and actually I sleep with her. So she gets very overwhelmed by Christmas. And you know, and maybe it's because, you know what it is? For us, Loka, I'm a don't worry about it. We'll get it done. Yeah. We'll get it done.
I'm the same way.
Sure, it's Christmas Eve. It's midnight. We're going to get it done. And she's like, I got all this stuff. And then she'll go and just do it. And I'd be like, why are you doing it? I said I would help you. I can't wait as long. I can't do it. I got to get rid of it. So she puts all this stress upon herself. But maybe, Loka, maybe I'm the one putting the stress on her.
She needs some help to get some joy in her life.
Yeah. Maybe I'm the one that needs the help, not her. Yeah. Maybe that's the problem here, Loka. What do you think?
Well, I think you're pretty entertaining, so I'm pretty sure she gets a lot of smiles and laughs in her life, and that is one of the most contagious things out there. So even if she is stressed, I'm sure you'll make her laugh, and you're bringing her joy.
Well, at the very least, I get a good eye roll every once in a while. That works pretty well.
Well, and there's something to what you said earlier, Loka, was the idea that sometimes, especially if someone lost a loved one this year, it's the first holiday that somebody's spending, or somebody that passes away close to the holiday, a Christmas song can trigger that emotion for years to come.
Exactly.
Well, and you hear, and when you hear somebody's, you hear people who've passed away near Christmas, but it doesn't. You're right, and it's not even doesn't have to be near Christmas. It can be I've just remembered we're going through the first Christmas
without this person,
and Loka, that can be really tough.
Absolutely. I lost my mother when I was 13 years old, and
sorry to hear
the holidays were always difficult. And but some of the techniques that I learned about being in your joy is releasing emotion. A lot of people want to run from that emotion. They're like, no, it's Christmas. I need to feel joyful. The path to joy is releasing that emotion. So talking to people about how you're feeling, shedding those tears, letting that grief out, journaling about it. This is how I'm feeling, and this is why I'm feeling this way. Even writing a letter to the loved one that's passed away, therapists have encouraged, so it releases that emotions and still allows that connection, because grief is displaced love. And now you're giving it a place to go by writing to them, talking to them, or talking about them, and then also remembering the good times. So just know that when you are sad or shedding those tears, that's not you not being joyful. That's you actually sending love and releasing that love for someone that you don't know where to put it at.
Right. Also during the holidays, you'll have, some people are just alone at the holidays, and that's terrible.
Yeah.
That can be really rough.
Yeah.
And then, there are those people that want to crowd themselves. Like, we have always a lot of people. There's a lot of people, a lot of action, dinner, then there's people coming over later, and then the next day comes and everything's done, and it's so quiet. Everything's a mess, and it just that can be a bit of a letdown as well.
Yeah, 100%. I've actually coached a lot of people around the holidays that are lonely, and I say, you know what gets you to more joy is spreading smiles. There's nothing more contagious than a smile, than I always say. So doing a random act of kindness, going and volunteering, making someone else's Christmas, finding that community and people that you can actually work with can immediately start having you feel less lonely and more connected. And same with when you have all these people and then they're gone. Maybe same thing as you actually start calling a few people that have that connection, or just giving her that space to actually relax, because a lot of people will feel exhausted, and a lot of that loneliness that they're feeling is that they're also really, really tired. So making sure that you're taking that rest right after everyone's left is huge to being important to your joy.
Yeah. All right, interesting stuff, and it is that time of year. I've also Loka Pandya, by the way, we're speaking with, who is a motivational speaker. I just want to tell you, you've kind of motivated us a little today, emotionally, motivational.
Awesome.
But,
yeah, let's do it.
But I do think we hear from people every year who say, I listen to the radio, and it really cheers me up and gets me through. I know that's maybe this is like self-complimenting here or a bit overstating it, but it isn't. We hear from people who are alone who say, if it wasn't for I was going through a tough time or whatever, if it wasn't for the radio or tuning in, I wouldn't have gotten through that. So people find their companionship in many different ways, I think.
Oh, absolutely, because everything that you're talking about on the radio, they start to feel connected. They feel understood. Even what we're talking about today, many people be like, oh, no, I'm feeling that. And you're speaking directly to them, and they feel connected to you, and there's a connection. Joy is one of the big things in joy, it's connection, and y'all are creating connections with everyone out there.
Yeah.
And so love it. You are helping a lot of people into their joy.
All right, how do people reach
get
out?
Motivated.
Get motivated through you. How do they find you?
Yeah, if you're looking for joy tips, come to my Instagram. It's at Loka Pandya. It's LOKAPANDYA. Or if you're looking for speaking or joy coaching, just come to my website, www.lokapandya.com.
Hey, a little you make a lot of money with this joy stuff?
I spread a lot of joy, and it actually does fill my financial joy bucket.
Well, listen, Loka, that plays a role.
That helps
when you're
with
not
the joy.
sitting there worrying about how you're going to pay tomorrow's bills. That plays a big role. It helps
I actually
with happiness.
Love your title on your Instagram is Chief Joy Officer.
Love it.
Chief Joy Officer.
CJO.
Yeah,
CJO.
Ho, CJO.
All right. Well, listen, have a wonderful holiday, Loka. Thank you. We appreciate your joy and happiness today. Thank you.
You too. Take care.
All right. Listen, that's a big thing. Like if you're going through the holidays and you spent too much money on your presents, and now you're like, how am I going to pay the rent? That can be pretty stressful.
Somebody I know has always said to me, money's not everything, but it's right up there with air and water.
That's exactly right. It is absolutely true.
Yes.
They say, money can't buy happiness. But it can help.
It can help.
It can help.
Yes, it can.
And listen, they'll say also, well, trust me, there are a lot of very wealthy people out there that are unhappy. And I always respond by saying, well, I'll give it a shot. Let me give it a try.
Let me take that chance.
I'll bet I could fix that whole thing. I got a break. Hold on. We'll do Hobica's free money question of the day. Coming up, Don Leibel. And he talks about the fact that he is a junkie. A pro wrestling junkie,
yes.
and lived the life of with pro wrestlers and performing with them and the whole 9 yards. It is really a great story that's up on our website. We'll talk to Don coming up in a few minutes. It is 7:29 on WIBX.
As a leader in green building projects, Potentia has completed hundreds of large sustainable commercial projects across New York State and is now a clean heat approved contractor for residential electric heat pumps. Save up to 40% off your natural gas or oil heating system monthly bill by upgrading to an electric heat pump. Now's a great time to replace that old furnace and boiler with New York State incentives and tax advantages. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a turnkey electric heat pump with various packages and options available. available. Potentia can also help design, supply, and install residential and commercial electric vehicle charging systems at your home or business. From permitting and design through the complete installation, they guarantee your satisfaction with all their products and workmanship. Visit Potentia at 4685 Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford. Give them a call at 315-765-6184 or potentiamanagement.com. That's potentiamanagement.com.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. This holiday season, make your home shine with elegance from Adirondack Home Furniture. Wrap yourself in comfort and create warm holiday memories with family and friends on one of their beautiful sofas or sectionals handcrafted for togetherness. When it's time to eat, Adirondack Home Furniture's dining collection will be the centerpiece of your holiday feast. Celebrate a peaceful escape this year when you gift yourself an Adirondack Home Furniture bedroom transformation from the ordinary to a sanctuary of serenity and relaxation. Handcrafted perfection. Experience the magic of the season with Adirondack Home Furniture. Visit them today and let them help you create a home that's a reflection of your impeccable taste at Adirondack Home Furniture. Horatio Street in Utica at the former Riverside Mall. Browse their inventory online at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com. Happy holidays from Adirondack Home Furniture, where quality is not expensive, it's priceless.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 7:31. I'm Andrew Derminio. Right now, 25 degrees, mostly clear skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more information. Today, Syracuse University will be honoring the victims of the Pan Am Flight 103 bombing during a ceremony on campus. A total of 270 people, including 35 Syracuse students, were killed when the plane exploded in Scotland 35 years ago. The service is set to begin shortly after 2 p.m. at the Hendricks Chapel, and it is only open to family members of the victims. The flight was going from London to New York City when the tragedy happened. Governor Kathy Hochul has signed off on new legislation aimed at protecting people from the dangers presented by lead pipes. The Lead Pipe Right to Know Act requires that information on lead pipes be made available to the public. It also stipulates the location of those pipes be known so they can be removed and no longer impact drinking water. The governor says this measure will help reduce the risk of New Yorkers being affected by lead poisoning. With Christmas just 4 days away, hard to believe, the Better Business Bureau is providing tips to help people avoid scams when shopping for last-minute gifts. If you're getting a gift card, look to see if it's been tampered with, and if so, pick a different card. And only purchase toys from reputable websites and stores, and don't be fooled by a price that seems unusually low. Also be careful with any personal information you post online so it isn't stolen by scammers. For more recommendations, visit bbb.org. And the Syracuse University football team is going to be taking to the field for the final time this season. Tonight, the Orange are set to take on the University of South Florida Bulls in the Boca Raton Bowl at FAU Stadium in the Sunshine State. SU ended their regular season at 6-6, and they'll be led by interim head coach Nunzio Campanile, who will remain on staff next year under Coach Fran Brown. Kickoff is scheduled for 8 p.m. on ESPN. WIBX 950 News Time, 7:33. Your weather forecast is according to Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint. Brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today becomes sunny, crispy, cold air though. Breezy at times in the afternoon, a high of 32. Appropriate as winter begins this evening. Overnight, clear, very cold, a low near 10. Single digits to near zero in the coldest countryside. And tomorrow, plenty of bright sunshine, a high of 34. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Right now, we're at 25 degrees under mostly clear skies. It is 7:34.
I want to do Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week, if we could. On the line right now is Detective Shane Riola from the Rome PD. Shane, Detective, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Good. This person we're looking for through Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers this week is wanted on not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 bench warrants. Am I correct?
Yes. 1
Yep.
arrest warrant, 3 bench warrants.
Okay, so let's talk about it.
All right, so Rome PD's wanted person of the week this week is Robert M. Jonas Jr. He's 37 years old, 5'11", 165 pounds. Robert Jonas Jr. is wanted on 4 separate Rome City Court arrest warrants. The first warrant is arrest warrant for scheme to defraud in the second degree stemming from a fraud in December of 2023. Second warrant is a bench warrant for criminal mischief in the fourth degree, endangering the welfare of a child, and harassment in the second degree stemming from a domestic dispute in September 2023. The third warrant is a bench warrant for criminal contempt in the second degree, originating from a domestic dispute, which also occurred in September of 2023. Final warrant is a bench warrant for obstructing governmental administration in the second degree. He has no known address to us right now, but he's believed to be somewhere in the Rome area.
All right. So this is a great thing to think about. You can look at our story, share it around. The more it gets seen, the more opportunity there is that police will be able to find this person. And, of course, using Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers detective, very important because it is 100% anonymous.
That is correct. It's a very useful tool for us.
All right. Detective Shane Riolo, thank you. Have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you, sir. You too.
All right. Thanks so much. Go to our website at WIBX950.com. There you will find photo, complete story, and all the details on how you can make a 100% anonymous tip online or by making a phone call. The phone number is 866-730-8477. 1-866-730-8477. You could also go to MohawkValleyCrimeStoppers.com for details. There are links within the story on our website at WIBX950.com. You ever wake up in the morning and say to yourself, I have the perfect free money question of the day. I woke up that way today.
I thought you were going to say, do you ever wake up in the morning and say, when can I go back to bed?
I've done that too.
I've done that.
Yeah, like, really? But I can tell you this. This is a great question. It's a holiday question. I don't know, Davey. What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
What am I thinking
right
now?
In terms of dollars. You want to go with $200 today?
Yeah.
$200.
I know it annoys the daylights out of Habaika. Like yesterday on the way out, it's like, you can't follow the $100 rule, can you? That's what he said. You can't follow the $100 rule. So let's make it $200, which could come perfect for the holidays. You're looking for caller number what, Davey?
Caller number 6, Bill.
And I love this holiday question. It is a holiday question. Caller number 6 right now, 315-736-0186. After that, we'll speak with Josh Eisen. He's running for the U.S. Senate he's a Republican running against Kirsten Gillibrand, and he's announcing his candidacy for next year. We'll speak with him coming up in a few. Call right now, 315-736-0186 at WIBX.
Most folks don't realize this fact. Our country is only 4 missed meals away from chaos, and those meals can vanish fast. In a national emergency, fragile supply chains break down and will wipe grocery store shelves clean in a matter of hours. Before this happens, there's something you should do today. That's stock up on emergency food storage. My Patriot Supply is the company millions of American families trust for their emergency supplies. You should too. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com and secure their best-selling 3-month emergency food kits. Each kit contains delicious breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, averaging over 2,000 calories per day. My Patriot Supply also sells large solar generators, gravity-powered water filtration systems, off-grid room heaters for when the power goes out, heirloom seeds, and other survival necessities. Order by 3 p.m. and your items ship the same day, fast. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now. Those who know what's coming prepare before the chaos starts. MyPatriotSupply.com.
The Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida Counties is your community foundation. Together, we've invested $125 million in the community, thanks to people, families, and businesses that want to give back and build a brighter future. And you don't have to have big bucks to make a big difference. Join us as we invest in the future of our community. Learn more about your community foundation at foundationhoc.org.
With so many mesothelioma lawyers, how do you choose the right firm for you and your family? I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, and here's my advice to you. Do your research. Results matter. Reputation matters. Last year alone, our team recovered over $1 billion for our clients. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited.
Call 800-602-2200. That's 800-602-2200. Call now.
Why get an updated COVID vaccine? If you're 65 or older, a COVID vaccine can keep you out of the hospital. And if you have heart disease, a COVID vaccine can help you stay healthy. With COPD or other lung diseases, getting a COVID vaccine can keep you off a ventilator. Anyone can get severely ill from COVID. But some people are more at risk. Know your risk and make sure you're up to date on your COVID vaccine. A message from the New York State Health Department.
Herkimer County, the Experience County, is your destination for winter fun. From the Thruway to the Adirondacks, Herkimer County has it all. Snowmobiling, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, ice fishing, and Adirondack skiing and snowboarding. All that family fun and great restaurants and lodging too. For details, click on experienceherkimercounty.com. Herkimer County, I love New York.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Yeah, I like this song.
Well, it's Christmas time again. Decorations are on by the fire. Everybody's singing, all the bells are ringing out, and it's Christmas all over again.
That's another one I like. There are a lot of these songs out there that are Christmas time that I kind of like. And then there are many that I hate. I think I hate many more than I like, to be honest with you. Debbie is
Scrooge.
Debbie is in. Oh, I forgot to mention to you, too, that Jackie Izzo is on this morning.
Yes,
I didn't say that in my tease earlier.
Nope.
But Mayor Jackie Izzo is going to be on. It's our first time speaking with her since the election, as a matter of fact. And we'll speak to her in the 8 o'clock hour. Debbie is in Rome. Hello, Debbie. Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, I'm feeling a little cocky today. I like this question a lot.
You previewed it to me, and I did not know the answer, even though I thought I did.
But I think you'll do well, Debbie. You always come up with good answers when you play this contest.
We'll see.
We'll see, right? This is worth $200. Are you ready?
Yep.
You know the rules. You know how it goes. You have 7 seconds to answer. It comes from the Hobeika Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobeika, 315-724-1600. If you get it wrong or right, either way, you win, because we're going to give you the Utica All-in-One Food and Fun card. It's a $25 gift card at Aquavino. Love that restaurant. At Babes, 72 Tavern and Grill. The new Taylor and the Cook. We went there last night to try it out again.
Nice.
And it was packed.
Oh, good.
Yeah, there were no seats available. It was like an hour wait, so call for reservations. It's a hot restaurant right now for the holidays. And any of the concession stands at Nexus and the Adirondack Bank Center. Okay, Debbie, here's your question. 7 seconds. Here it is.
Okay.
If you ordered from Amazon in 1997, what would be possibly delivered to your home? Ready, go.
Computer parts.
Computer parts.
That's a good guess. My guess was a book.
Well, you were close on the book. The computer parts, no, but it's a good guess, because what inspired Amazon to open in Seattle, it's a Seattle company, was Microsoft was nearby.
Was it coffee?
No, they started with music and videos. That's what you would get.
videos.
Music
Wow.
and videos. That was it. And then, you remember, didn't they show up in Barnes & Noble? Then they started doing books.
Yeah.
So I guess I would have accepted music, videos, or books, because books came right afterwards. Now you can get those computer parts, right, Debbie? I mean,
get literally anything.
Sure,
Yeah.
get anything.
Yeah.
We're doing a bathroom in our basement. We're doing a brand new, and My girlfriend ordered all the light fixtures from Amazon.
I ordered my wife on Amazon 2 years ago. And so far, Debbie, it's worked out. I mean, at least for me, I think she's
Amazon
happy.
Prime.
She's Prime. Yes, she's Prime. All right, Debbie, have a wonderful holiday. Hope you're tuning in tomorrow, 6 a.m. till noon. All right, have a great day. Thank you.
All right, Merry Christmas.
Oh, hold on. Davey's got to get your information for the gift card. By the way, that Utica All-in-One $25 gift card, it'll cost you $20. You get $5 free during the holidays. So take advantage of that. And the nice thing about that is it's good at any of those locations.
Yeah, that's huge.
So I've got a bunch of comments to get to. We'll get there. Richard has a comment in there. I'm going to get to that also. And he is running for the U.S. Senate against Democrat Kirsten Gillibrand. Josh Eisen is a Republican, and we heard of maybe a week and a half ago, that he was going to be challenging her, and here he is on the line now. Josh, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Thanks for. So, if you could, for people who most people don't know who you are, which you'll find this interesting. You have something in common with Kirsten Gillibrand. She doesn't know who we are.
Right.
Probably couldn't.
No clue who you are.
No
she doesn't
clue
know about your problems. She doesn't know about the pain in New York. She's eating caviar. She's drinking fancy champagne. She couldn't give a crap about the people of New York.
Well, there's your introduction.
About the people of New York. I'm from New York. I never left New York. Even when I'll be in the Senate, I'll just go. I'll vote. I'll come back. I don't like D.C. I don't like elite institutions. I don't like Harvard. I don't like Yale. I don't like Columbia. And I know firsthand, I have a PhD in religion from Columbia and legal theory from Columbia. I have an MBA from Columbia. It's all a lie. We got to take away all the money from those people. Their tax breaks, their freebies on the loan subsidies. There are people in your neck of the woods and in our state, New York, who borrowed agricultural loans. They have first and second liens. I'm advocating for them. I'm advocating to make those loans easier, while Kirsten Gillibrand advocates for people who borrowed money to party at Yale and at Harvard. It's over. And that's why I'm running. I'm a born and bred New Yorker. I'll never leave this state. I love the state. I love the people of the state in a way that Kirsten Gillibrand never can, because she's got no love in her heart. So that's who I am. And I'm happy to answer your question.
Well, you just took off
that
there.
That was a pretty good answer.
Yeah, I didn't have to do anything. Appreciate it. I mean,
I'm fired up, man.
All right, nice talking to you, Josh.
Gave me a break there. Thank you. Listen, the one thing we can tell you is that she spends no time here whatsoever. And you know, I'm going to say something. And this is very unpopular because up here it's like everybody hates Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was a really good U.S. Senator for New York. She was upstate all the time. She was visible. She was here often. I'm not a Hillary fan, but she was an example of how someone should act as your U.S. Senator. And the opposite of that is Kirsten Gillibrand, who does not know who we are. She couldn't pronounce the names of our towns. We never see her. And you are absolutely correct about her.
And just to expand on that point just a little bit, Bill, I remember covering her one time. She came to the Stanley Theater here in Utica, which is a very popular historical theater here, Josh. And she couldn't make it more obvious that she didn't know where she was. She's reading from a card, looked at the podium the whole time. Really,
I guess
they told her where she was probably as she was getting out of the SUV.
So she doesn't even try to fake it.
Right.
And I'm sorry about the positive comments about Hillary. I'm not a Hillary fan, but she was here a lot.
Yeah.
But look, a lot of people who do a bad job still show up to do it.
That's true. Yeah.
Kirsten Gillibrand doesn't even show up.
She doesn't even show up. Yeah.
So all you said about Hillary is that she showed up. That used to not be a big deal. Showing up was like, of course you show up.
Right.
Did you do the work? Say what you want about Hillary. She fought like an animal because she knew that would help her in her presidential aspiration.
No doubt about it. She had to do.
I don't think it was
I believe believe it was self-serving. I completely agree. And she did accomplish things for upstate New York, but she needed to do that because she knew what her next step was going to be. Well, she thought she knew, and but nonetheless. All right. So on the big issues, where do you stand? For instance, right now, this is a tough time we're in the middle of. We have while the economy seems to be getting better, it's still fragile. But beyond that, the real problems seem to be overseas. Ukraine, of course, Israel, Hamas. Where do you stand on all those big issues?
So I stand on supporting your allies, generally speaking. I think you do it within limits, and you do it certainly with confirmation. But I think the most important thing is that our support of allies or any international support should never be at the expense of the debate of taking care of people in New York, the farmers, the small businessmen, the student who's in community college paying for it themselves and working through that education. Those are the people we must advocate for. And if we allow the hustlers from Harvard and Yale and Columbia to come in and make it a debate about who is committing genocide and who isn't in the middle of a war, we're never going to actually talk about the important issues. So my real issues are the people of New York, the pain and the suffering here. And don't get me wrong, I've been to Ukraine 7 times with Governor Pataki. I'm on the board of the Pataki Leadership Center. I'm very close to the former governor. And we've done a lot of humanitarian work, zero military, zero, not an ounce, but all humanitarian work in Ukraine, mainly because our government promised them humanitarian aid. But there's $20 billion of appropriated funding for Ukrainian humanitarian aid that sits untouched. It's not wasted, it's not corrupted, it's not stolen, it's just sitting in accounts within the Justice Department and in USAID. So we went out there and we bought heaters, generators, and we really helped out. So I certainly believe that you have to help pain and suffering in the world, but the pain in your city comes first. Your neighbor whose home burnt down comes first. The flood a town away comes first. And that's how I live my life. When there's a fire in my neighborhood, I take people into my home. When there's a flood, I take people into my home. I go and I buy them food. That's who I am. And after I take care of as much as I can around me, of course, same thing as a nation. We have to look beyond our borders, because if we don't, we saw what happened. The Japanese, they came after us. If people think we're vulnerable, they'll come after us. There's evil people out there, and we need to be careful. Do we need an $850 billion military? Could $500 billion be enough when the Chinese barely spend $100 billion? Maybe. That's a separate debate. What's more important? Are we going to prioritize pain and suffering in New York, or are we going to prioritize pain and suffering in Ukraine? I think the answer is obvious, but it doesn't mean there is no pain and suffering in Ukraine, or there is no pain and suffering in the Middle East. And those are tough questions that a senator grapples with, and I'm ready to.
I do want to ask you, push a little more on the Israeli Hamas situation, because the difficulty you have is a horrific catch-22. If Israel does nothing, there will be more attacks. If Israel basically wipes Hamas off the planet, in the process of doing that, Hamas has evil in an evil way is placing innocent people in harm's way. Innocent people are dying, and therefore a new generation of hate is being created, which will then attack. So it seems like, how do we balance that? How do we solve the problem that is...
You almost can't destroy an ideology.
Unsolvable.
It's tough.
So how do you wrestle with that?
It's an intractable situation. There's two people who want one thing, and one group, Hamas, are murderers, rapists. They smash the heads of babies. So there's no catch-22 for the Israelis. I was in Israel a month after the war. I was down in Kibbutz Re'im, which is where the music festival was. I saw firsthand what happened over there. Along with a couple of partners, we dedicated a Torah scroll. I'm Jewish, so that was a meaningful thing for me. There's no catch-22. In Berlin, in 1945, was there a catch-22, or did they destroy the city because they had to destroy the Nazis?
Right.
No different. You have to destroy the city. And if you're fighting an enemy that's willing to take its own people down with them, of course you have to take them out. They're going to take you out eventually. That's their goal.
Well,
they want to take us all out. ISIS, Hamas. Yeah. They would love to destroy America. Every time somebody becomes a Muslim in the United States, they're praying that that person is their kind of evil Muslim. And they don't realize that in America, there are people who become Muslim who do it for all the best reasons. And they do it because they want to be a part of a strong community. They want to be a member of a mosque. They don't want their daughters sleeping with everybody at Harvard on the football team. So they choose Islam, but a different Islam. An Islam that that works and thrives in America and thrives all over the world. So these Hamas guys, we have to be careful also not to label them as the pure Muslims. These are bad guys.
No doubt about it. And please don't misunderstand me. I do believe there's a catch-22, and the catch-22 is that we are creating a new generation of people who hate Israel and hate Jews, but you don't have a choice because Hamas must be destroyed. To me, that is the conundrum that is unsolvable. And the saddest part of this whole thing is innocent people are victims, and there seems to be no other way. Yeah.
But I think you look to Germany and you look to a nation that built concentration camps, that murdered tens of millions of people, that they built Auschwitz. Right.
Well, can I, if I can, I want to talk about that. But the difference is the German people, when World War II finally ended, they saw what they had done. They were shamed. They were ashamed.
They only saw what they did because they were completely destroyed. My father is a Holocaust survivor.
That's what I wanted to bring up. Yes.
And the question is, who's going to rebuild Germany, and who's going to rebuild Oz, and who's going to educate them? So if you just hand them money to do it themselves, that would be like going to Hitler and Goebbels after the war and saying, okay, we'll make peace with you. You can't make peace with those guys.
Right.
You can make peace with the Palestinians. And whoever rebuilds it and whoever puts the books into their schools is going to win this ideological war. So after World War II, we had the Marshall Plan. We won the ideological war, so much so that now the Germans are more Western than we are somehow, some crazy way.
Yeah.
Right? They're the standard bearers of the West. I think similarly, the Palestinians have it in them to be that, to be standard bearers of democracy alongside Israel in the Middle East, because I believe in humanity, and they just need to be taught. Right now, they're being taught by UNRWA. The UN is spending hundreds of millions of dollars, literally, from the UN. UN paid for books say, kill the Jews.
Yeah.
So how are you ever going to win the people over when that's going on?
I agree. Can I ask you just one personal question? What it was like growing up, and did your dad, did you hear stories of what your family went through in Germany?
Of course. My father shared everything with me, both the escape, both his going to Auschwitz and then later on his escape from the communists. He was a rabid anti-communist, and I guess he was on the lists in 1956, so twice he once escaped from the fascists, then later from the radical left. But his experience, he was a classic, PTSD, formerly incarcerated kind of person, screams in the middle of the night. Traumatized man. You don't go through Auschwitz and see your father for the last time and come out of that like me and you or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But as a result, I do have very tremendous sympathy for the formerly incarcerated in New York, especially where you have radical left prosecutors just literally destroying the Sixth Amendment, quick and speedy trial by jury of one's peers. We see what they're doing to Trump in Atlanta. They've been doing it to black and Hispanic men for generations. When I'm senator, we're going to follow the law. The Second Amendment, the First Amendment, the Sixth Amendment, the Eighth Amendment, all the amendments. I love the amendments. I have no interest in repealing any of them. And we got to live up to them.
Yeah.
So my father's experience certainly showed me the dangers of no due process, of letting a court case go on for 2 years while somebody languishes in Rikers Island. That's not American justice. That's not the Sixth Amendment. So it definitely informed a lot of my worldviews that might have been less popular in the Republican Party 30 years ago, but I think today there's a more purist, legalistic Republican Party that I identify with.
Interesting conversation. I really appreciate it, Josh, and hope we can do it again. And you have there's so much more experience you have that we haven't even gotten to. And
only scratch the surface.
Love to be able to talk about that sometime down the road.
I'm ready to come back anytime.
All right. Well, good luck. Happy holidays, Josh Eisen. Thank you so much. Thanks. He is running for U.S. Senate. Josh Eisen running as a Republican, unique Republican with an unbelievable amount of experience.
Yeah.
Life experience. So look him up. Eisen, Josh Eisen. Got a break at WIBX.
Only at Mattress Express. Any Sealy or Stearns & Foster King or Queen set get a 58-inch flat screen TV or $200 in free gifts. No one in New York has all the brands under one roof that Mattress Express has. Go to mattressexpressny.com.
Oneida County Office of Continuing Care has immediate openings for program nurses, starting at over $55,000. Nurses work a 35-hour week conducting patient screenings and home health assessments. Join our team and make a difference. Apply today at OneidaCountyJobs.com. That's OneidaCountyJobs.com.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. You need a partner you can count on. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
518-554-0000. 100 Great Oaks Boulevard, Suite 110, Albany, New York, 12203. Online at CordellCordell.com.
WIBX Utica Rome, 8 o'clock.
On the ballot in Colorado or not, he's still the front runner in Iowa. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Former President Trump way out in front in the first contest state at 52% in a new Fox Business poll. 34 points ahead of Ron DeSantis. Nikki Haley's 36-point back. This Iowa voter prefers those challengers, though, telling Fox
they could do what Trump can do, but they can do it without all the drama and the baggage.
But an Iowa Trump supporter tells Fox
his free speech is being violated, and if that decision with Colorado goes through, it shows that Americans, this will happen to us.
Now, that decision kicked the former president off a primary ballot, an effort that Fox's Mark Meredith reports could expand.
Colorado's Supreme Court ruled he was disqualified from being a candidate. The court says Trump violated the Insurrection Act with his behavior on January 6, 2021. Now, California's lieutenant governor says she wants her state's elections office to do the same.
President Biden says there's no question the former president led an insurrection. But in the Trump 2020 election indictments, there are no insurrection charges. And his campaign will appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court, claiming he did not violate a constitutional provision. Israel has shot down another barrage of rockets over Tel Aviv. Fox's Trey Yingst is there.
Hamas, 76 days into this conflict, still has an arsenal of rockets they are using to target major population centers. It also comes as Hamas has publicly rejected Israeli discussion of a possible ceasefire, saying that no hostages will be released until the war is officially over.
With another record wave of illegal border crossings, Texas's Republican Governor Greg Abbott, who has bussed migrants north, is now flying them.
This latest flight, originating in El Paso, adds 120 more to an already overwhelmed migrant crisis in Chicago. Now, Abbott's office said this in a statement, quote, Texas will continue taking historic action to help our local partners respond to this Biden-made crisis.
That's Fox's Griff Jenkins. America's listening to Fox News.
Everybody needs an edge. The other guy is working on his edge right now, whether you have one or not. Testosterone levels are at an all-time low historically, and individual T levels in men decline 1% every year with age. There's a new champion of natural testosterone boosters, and it's called CHOQ, C-H-O-Q. 100% natural herbal extracts with game-changing effects on your energy, mood, and focus. CHOQ Daily's main ingredient has been clinically studied to boost testosterone 20% in 90 days. Supercharge your masculinity with higher T and a massive boost of energy by taking CHOQ's Male Vitality Stack every day. Take the 90-day CHOQ Challenge and reap the benefits of the reigning champion of natural men's health with CHOQ's Male Vitality Stack. For a very limited time only, CHOQ, C-H-O-Q, is giving our listeners a 30% discount with promo code USA. That's CHOQ.com, code USA, for 30% off while supplies last.
Good morning. WIBX 950 News Time, 8:03. I'm Andrew Dominio. Right now, it's 25 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Today, Syracuse University will be honoring the victims of the Pan Am Flight 103 bombing during a ceremony on campus. A total of 270 people, including 35 Syracuse students, were killed when the plane exploded over Scotland 35 years ago. The service is set to begin shortly after 2 p.m. at the Hendricks Chapel, and it is only open to family members of the victims. The flight was going from London to New York City when the tragedy occurred. A 26-year-old woman has tragically passed away days after she was shot in the head in broad daylight. Officials say Apriona Harris died yesterday after being hit by gunfire last Friday on Dickerson Street in Syracuse. Harris was pregnant at the time, but doctors were able to deliver a healthy baby. Police arrested 34-year-old David Kirby, who's believed to be the father of the child. After the shooting, he's now facing several charges. The Utica Fire Department is expected to release an official statement regarding the cause of the fire that occurred on Varick Street. The release of information is anticipated within the next few weeks. Utica Fire Chief Scott Ingersoll stated, however, that it's highly likely the cause will be undetermined. This is due to the extensive destruction and the subsequent collapse of HK Restaurant and Lounge. Located at 703 Varick Street, the massive blaze broke out on November 30th. UFD is working with the State Office of Fire Prevention and Control to investigate the cause. And with Christmas just 4 days away, the Better Business Bureau is providing some tips to help people avoid scams when shopping for last-minute gifts. If you're getting a gift card, look to see if it's been tampered with, and if so, pick a different card, and only purchase toys from reputable websites and stores, and don't be fooled by a price that seems unusually low. Also be careful with any personal information you post online so it isn't stolen by scammers. For more recommendations, visit bbb.org. WIBX 950 News Time, 8:05. Your weather forecast is according to Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint. Brought to you by the Stanley Center of the Arts, presenting Standards and Stories with Tony Danza, April 6th, 2024 at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today becomes sunny, crispy, cold air, though. Breezy at times in the afternoon, a high of 32. Appropriate as winter begins this evening. Overnight, clear, very cold, a low near 10. Single digits to near zero in the coldest countryside. And tomorrow, plenty of bright sunshine, a high of 34. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
25 degrees, mostly clear skies. It's 8:06. Broadcasting from the IBEW 43 local sports desk, the Syracuse University football team will be taking the field tonight for the final time this season. The Orange are set to take on the University of South Florida in the Boca Raton Bowl at FAU Stadium in the Sunshine State. SU ended the regular season with a 6-6 record and will be led by interim head coach Nuncio Campanile, who will stay on the staff of new head coach Fran Brown. Kickoff is scheduled for 8 p.m., and the game will air on ESPN. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers is officially back on the Jets roster, but will not be returning to the field. 3 weeks after opening his 21-day practice window, the Jets activated the quarterback to make room. The team released fullback Nick Bowden. Head coach Robert Saleh confirmed Wednesday Rodgers will not be taking any regular season snaps. New York is third in the AFC East at 5-9 and have been eliminated from playoff contention. Syracuse Orange basketball team will take the hardwood tonight at 5 p.m. They are 8-3 and look to extend that lead to, or that record to 9-3, extend the win streak as they host Niagara tonight at the JMA Wireless Dome. And the Mets have acquired a pair of veteran players from the Brewers. Milwaukee traded Adrian Hauser and Tyrone Taylor to New York in exchange for minor leaguer Coleman Crowe. Hauser went 8-5 in 21 starts with a 4.12 ERA and 96 strikeouts. Taylor hit .234 to go with 10 homers and 35 RBIs in 81 games last year. It was the first trade between the teams since former Brewers president David Stearns left to join the Mets front office back in October.
Well, the Mets have a lot of work to do.
Yeah. I think both New York teams do.
Yeah. Richard this morning talking about saving money. I was paying $7.99 a month for the OD online service. They raised it to $14.99, so I canceled it online. The survey asked me why I canceled, and I replied, too expensive. Next, they asked if I paid $4.99, would I stay? I said yes, so now I get billed $4.99 a month, from $7.99 to $14.99 to $4.99, and I never spoke with anyone. Must be in the algorithm to give you the break, right?
Yeah.
All I can tell you is I spoke with people and still can't cancel. I don't get it.
So annoying.
Here's an interesting story about a man who woke up his wife in the middle of the night. I've thought of this. Like, I will every once in a while use the Jack Pocket app, and in
see if
fact,
you've won the
I
lottery.
played the Powerball. Was it Powerball last night?
Yeah.
I played, and I'm waking up at 3 in the morning, and you get an email that says, "Congratulations, you had a Jack Pocket win," and I'm like, "Wow, what's it gonna say?" And this, I opened mine up. It said you won $8. This guy woke his wife up because he found out in the middle of the night he was a millionaire.
What?
The 62-year-old Kent County man chose to remain anonymous after matching the winning Lotto 47 jackpot numbers. The $1 ticket he purchased won him $3.4 million, and he saw it on his app when he woke up in the middle of the night.
That's awesome.
Would you wake someone up? Your girlfriend? You'd have to do that, right?
I'd still get hit, but
Probably, but she'd be happy. This woman, this is another great holiday story. This woman bought a vase at a thrift store for, was it $1 or like 50 cents? With our internet, it'll take me a week to get this story up. Jessica Vincent's thrift store find turned out to be a rare piece of Carlo Scarpa-designed Italian glass. Turns out she sold it for $107,100 at an auction. And you know what she paid for it?
Probably like $3 at a thrift store.
I think it was like $1. It doesn't really say.
I gotta tell you, my girlfriend loves doing the thrifting thing. She'll buy it for, like, she gets into staging now with me being in real estate. So she'll like to pick up a few finds and things to decorate the house with and repurpose. So
you get a lot of good stuff.
I gotta tell her,
there.
just be careful.
A lot of good stuff.
Spray painting some of that stuff.
Scott in Kirkville. Good morning, Scott. Good morning.
Good morning. So he woke up his wife or his mistress first?
Well, I believe I believe he woke up his wife. It was,
and then
wife.
he called his mistress.
Yes,
is what he said.
And that's what I was wondering. But hey, guys, I hope you're having a good holiday season. It's been good, at least up here, with Syracuse and post football and basketball making news.
Scott, how are you feeling? How do you feel about? It really looks like Syracuse football is making some good moves.
Yeah, we're wondering why. We're waiting for the story to come out, because is the purse strings actually someone opening up the purse strings finally? Because
I wonder.
Some of these players aren't coming here. You wonder how much Ohio State offered Cordell to stay there. I heard $3 million to Nebraska, and something happened there. I know that was floated out there, but I can't believe Syracuse would pay him more than no one knows even how much the coach is getting paid. And we thought about $3 million a year, so I don't think they're going to pay their quarterback more than their coach.
Let me say this: that once they added the quarterback, now that makes it makes coming to Syracuse much sweeter, don't you think?
Yeah. Well, Well, we'll find out. I don't know if you noticed that they had a Ferrari inside the dome. They brought all these recruits up, and they put a Ferrari inside of the Carrier Dome as an enticement. So it was interesting. It's all different now in Syracuse. Everything's social media. They really are opening up avenues that we all saw other schools doing that Syracuse wasn't doing. Either they didn't want to or didn't believe in it. But basically now I can see why he was like the number one recruiter supposedly in the nation. He's talked some people in there.
Yeah, some stuff is happening.
It's incredible.
Exciting.
We'll see. Now the only thing is, can you coach? We know he can recruit.
Well, and then tonight Syracuse plays in what bowl?
Boca Raton Bowl against South Florida.
So it's going to be interesting because as of right now, they got a third-string quarterback that's who's going to be starting tonight. So I don't know where that's going to go, but you never know. You get a great performance, you just don't know.
Well, two things. First of all, he's named as the starter, but we all think Dan Villari had success at the end of the season running the Wildcat.
Yeah.
So how much time is split between that?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the third-string quarterback is from South Carolina, who transferred in. and they thought were highly of him. We'll find out now.
Okay.
South Florida itself is weird. The coach came from Tennessee. He's the offensive coordinator. Took over a team that was 1-10 last year. The offense is he's playing how people used to do a couple years ago. Even the Buffalo Bills used to play the no huddle hyper drive offense, and that's what they're known for. They're top 15, 20 in offense, but they're below. They're averaging about almost 500 yards a game, but giving up 500 yards a game.
Yeah.
So you go from both extremes. The quarterback's interesting. I'm sure he didn't face the competition, but he's thrown for over 3,000 yards, ran for 700. The only person that's got stats like that in college football is the LSU quarterback that won the Heisman Trophy.
Wow.
So we'll find out. The over-under is 53, I think, right now, 54. Syracuse is actually a favorite, 2.5. It's the best of two worlds for Syracuse. It's before Christmas. They go down south. I mean, you couldn't ask for it. If you're going to go to a lesser bowl, why not where you go is, to me, is better than, from the standpoint, like there's actually a bowl that usually was in the Bahamas. They didn't play this year because they're restructuring the stadium, but they had the Myrtle Beach Bowl. I mean, Ohio University was playing Georgia Southern, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would rather be there playing instead of going to Pinstripe or the Fenway Bowl, wouldn't you?
And it was even cold there for Myrtle Beach. It was like 50 degrees at game time. But we'll take that.
But by the way, Michigan State Kathy basically had a good week. I thought they had a shot. They actually beat undefeated Baylor on Saturday, and they actually beat Oakland on Monday. So they have a 6-5 record. They kind of turned everything around. But that's Coach Izzo. He starts slow and then develops his players. So Kathy should be happy that they had a nice week.
And then Syracuse basketball is looking very competitive.
Excellent.
So I'm feeling pretty good about that.
These are the games that last year would have cost them going into the tournament. They have won their non-conference games, except obviously the Maui Classic. But both of those teams were in the top 15. Gonzaga, which they lost to, in Tennessee. But they've won the games that are the 50-50 games. We weren't sure about Georgetown on the road, and definitely going up to South Dakota against. I thought it was a mediocre Oregon, but still, it's Oregon. So these are the teams that are going to keep you away from the tournament. That last year, beating Colgate was big because they lost to Colgate the last 2 years, and now they beat them. So that's something right there that it's turned around. I love the style. The coach is good. I'm telling you right now, the depth is incredible. I don't know if you saw the game or not, but it's almost like
the bench.
They're in waves right now. You get 5 guys. I mean, I'm not worried about foul trouble because they got guys coming off the bench that can be just as effective.
All right, good stuff. And by the way, there's a great story up on our website by Don Leibel, and it is about a junkie, a pro wrestling junkie, which Don tells his life story of working with professional wrestlers and actually being a manager at one point, coming into the ring and being all part of that. It's he has some great photos in there, and he'll be on to talk about that coming up in a few minutes. We'll have him on.
One quick thing. I need a shout-out to my barber, Jane the Barber from Ilion. She did a great job again with my Andy Rooney eyebrows. And also, when she started out, she's the best person to cut curly hair. Unfortunately, it's down to one curl.
That's
and
a
it's almost
thing.
like waving goodbye now. But she's great. She did a great job.
There you go.
Shout out to her.
All right. Scott, have a wonderful holiday, man. Thank you. There's your,
thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome, sir.
Have a great day. Thank you.
Bye.
Scott in Kirkville. River Hills Properties, I want to talk about that in a second. They'll be in here tomorrow. I want to do a little conversation tomorrow during our Christmas show, 6 a.m. till 12 noon, brought to you by the Stanley Theater. And it's a Utica thing, a kitchen and bar, and the food there is great. Lunch Tuesday through Sunday, 2 for Tuesdays back with large pizzas. Delicious at It's a Utica Thing. If you're interested in the Bills game on Saturday. You will not watch it. It is an NBC game, but you will not watch it on Channel 2 or any of the KTV's affiliates. It's only on, Andrew, Peacock.
Ugh.
So a little something on Peacock. You can go to peacocktv.com and get your details. It's $5.99 a month, Davey, for Peacock.
I have it already because of the WWE.
And so at $5.99 a month is where the plans start, and you can cancel at any time. So, is it worth paying the $6 to watch the Bills game if you don't have it yet? I'd say, yeah, it's going to be a big game.
Like I said, I've had it since day one, ever since the WWE Network switched over to Peacock, so I've had it.
And you've had it. You can also watch the NFL holiday exclusive Bills versus Chargers on Saturday, only on Peacock. And the Bengals-Steelers game is at 3 p.m. on Peacock, but that game is also on NBC. So KTV will have that game, but not the Bills game at night. The only way you'll be able to do it is if you're streaming Peacock. It'll cost you $5.99.
It's going to be Tirico and Collinsworth for 8 o'clock, and then it's going to be Iron Eagle, Son, and Todd Blackledge doing the game for NBC.
Okay, good stuff, Davey. Thank you. River Hills Properties, number one real estate agency, independent, number one in the region, number two if you include the big chains. It's the River Hills way. It's the services they provide, all the extra things that they do. Andrew got into it yesterday, and it is, these are things that some states actually require. I did not know that.
Yeah.
But, for instance, your listing agent, there when the house is shown, there are states in the United States that require that, not in New York. But River Hills does require it. Every single listing agent is there every time their property is shown. It's a big deal. It gives you that peace of mind. Why wouldn't you list with River Hills? In Barneveld, Little Falls, and Utica, they serve all of upstate New York online, riverhillspropertiesllc.com. And the phone number is 315-896-1009. Remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. This holiday season, make your home shine with elegance from Adirondack Home Furniture. Wrap yourself in comfort and create warm holiday memories with family and friends on one of their beautiful sofas or sectionals handcrafted for togetherness. When it's time to eat, Adirondack Home Furniture's dining collection will be the centerpiece of your holiday feast. Celebrate a peaceful escape this year when you gift yourself an Adirondack Home Furniture bedroom transformation from the ordinary to a sanctuary of serenity and relaxation. Handcrafted perfection. Experience the magic of the season with Adirondack Home Furniture. Visit them today and let them help you create a home that's a reflection of your impeccable taste at Adirondack Home Furniture. Horatio Street in Utica at the former Riverside Mall. Browse their inventory online at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com. Happy holidays from Adirondack Home Furniture, where quality is not expensive, it's priceless.
At MVHS, our team members fell in love with care long ago. Their lives were changed, and their world has been expanding ever since. In respect, compassion, knowledge, and ability. And it's only just begun. Because fueling the future of care starts here at the Wynn Hospital. Local care on a whole new level. The Wynn Hospital. Unwavering commitment and compassion. Learn more at mvhealthsystem.org. This is for you. The first steps taken in the Wynn Hospital are the first steps of a care experience that stands apart. One where compassion can always be found, where teams are trained to serve you well, and where cutting-edge technology is always at the ready. Because here, you not only receive state-of-the-art care, you have a distinctive care experience, one that is all about your comfort in a healing environment. Welcome to the Wynn Hospital.
Mohawk Valley FCU is giving you even more reasons to become a member and save money with their early fuel loan program. If you use alternative heating such as propane, heating fuel, pellets, or wood, you can receive up to $2,000 subject to credit approval for 12 months. Stock up now for the upcoming heating season and save with Mohawk Valley FCU. Just one of the many benefits Mohawk Valley FCU has to offer. Visit MohawkValleyFCU.org for more info. Mohawk Valley FCU, member focused, member driven, federally insured by NCUSIF.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and the Old Wicker Mill is the most wonderful place to shop this holiday season. Christmas shopping should be fun, and fun it is at the Old Wicker Mill, with a huge selection of amazing products like Pandora, Vera Bradley, Brighton, a toy department, Nora Fleming, Dr. Squatch, a women's clothing department, and so much more. We'll help you check off that list so you can get back to what the holidays are all about, family and friends. We love the holidays, and we love helping you select the perfect gift for everyone on your list. We're conveniently located at the New Hartford Shopping Center.
On behalf of IBEW Local 43 Union Electricians and the NECA Contractors, we are pleased to partner with Syracuse University in providing our members with an opportunity to enhance their education at this great university.
Syracuse University's partnership with the IBEW will provide talented students the opportunity to advance their careers while shaping the future of the electrical trades and the industries they serve.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
I'm Joni Grandy, and I invite you to remember a loved one during Hospice's Light Up a Life Holiday Memorial. With a gift of $10, your loved one's name will be displayed on a holiday tree. With a donation of $100, receive a cardinal ornament to symbolize your support of Hospice's mission.
Hospice and Palliative Care, Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford, 315-735-6484, or visit us at hospicecareinc.org. Hospice and Palliative Care. When you need us most.
Topping winter fun in Herkimer County, the Experience County, is Adirondack skiing at Macaulay Mountain, New York's best family mountain. Only an hour's drive north from the Mohawk Valley, Macaulay Mountain in Old Forge has it all. Great slopes and snowmaking, awesome Adirondack scenery, and affordable prices. Big mountain feel and small mountain attitude. It's all wrapped up in the small town charm of Old Forge. Herkimer County. I love New York.
A flex head bed is where each head goes up and down independently, but it's still one solid mattress, and Mattress Express has the largest selection in New York State. Right now, get a queen flex head bed with adjustable base and sheets for only $14.99. Locations at mattressexpressny.com.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
"'Twas the days before Christmas, and all through City Hall, not a creature was stirring, except Mayor Palmieri, who spotted old discarded tires left near the Hanna Park stage, and he was carrying them over to the dumpster.
Is that the mayor over there carrying those tires with his suit on?
Why, yes, it is. That mayor is on fire. The common council members were all nestled snug in their beds, while visions of sales tax revenues from nanotech danced in their heads. And Mama Palmieri in her kerchief, and the mayor with his perfect hair. Everyone settled in for the cold winter air. When out of Hanna Park there arose such a clatter, the mayor sprung from his desk to see what was the matter. Away to the window he flew like a flash. He tore open those 70s blinds and he threw up the sash. The moon on the fountain was all filled with snow. It sparkled with motion and even a glow. When what to his wondering eyes would it be but an old Kodak limousine with a man in the back seat? Wow! With a little old passenger still lively and fast. He popped out of the side door and was a blast from the past.
That's a blast from the past.
More rapid than flying monkeys. His comments they came, and he grunted and he shouted, and he yelled out some names. Palmieri, Bill Morehouse, Testa, Colosimo, On Buchero, Miola, McKenzie, and Marino. What the hell are you all doing? He said. This city's slipping through the cracks. I've come back from the grave to give you some facts. And then, in a twinkling, he was on the second floor. He went to the mayor's office and took off the door. He fumbled through papers and went into a drawer and yelled about fire, police, DPW, and more.
I don't
want to talk about the fire department and the police department and the DPW and more. He was dressed in white from his head to his toes. He sported a comb-over, and he had a pointy nose. He was barking out orders, yet no one was there, as he cut back the budget to a bone that was bare. His cheeks were all rosy, his eyes bulged from his head. He was cussing and cursing, he clearly wasn't dead. Then he looked at the mayor and said, "I'm talking to you." Then he shouted out loudly, "Are sweeps all you can do? We need jobs and investment. We need industry and grants. And instead of those sweeps, you should grow flowers and plants." He spoke about Kodak and hot dogs for $1, and then yelled about firefighters joyriding in a city truck. As quickly as he came, he darted from City Hall. He whistled quite loudly, giving his chauffeur a call. The driver moved slowly, or so it did seem, giving the ghost of Aunt Hannah inspiration to scream. "Why do I always have to do everything in this God-blessed city?" I heard him exclaim, and he rushed to his limo without a damn bit of shame. And I heard him bark loudly as he drove out of sight. "Happy Christmas to all." That is, except for that observer disgrace. And to all, a good night.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Name this Christmas song.
You won't do your sister's will.
This ain't no Christmas song.
You won't do your sister's will. You ran off and married, but I love you still.
A very special happy birthday this morning to Lucille in Rome.
How old is she, Bill?
She is 100 years old today. Yeah.
Please come back where you belong. I'll be good to you, baby. Please don't leave me alone.
Well, there you go. Lucille, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Lucille is 100 years old, Davey, right?
Right.
There you go. Don Leibel on the line right now. Don, good morning.
Good morning, and a very happy birthday to my wife, Barbara Leibel, who's 64 today.
Wow.
Hey, happy birthday.
I was just trying to think about
Where
back.
did that time go?
Where does that time go, right? Tell her happy birthday. That's awesome.
Hey, let me say this to you quickly. I had a moment yesterday. I went to the Social Security building locally, and I set up my interview and blah, blah, blah. And starting in May 1st, I will be collecting Social Security and Medicare.
Wow.
I can't believe it. But anyway.
Wow,
congratulations.
That's awesome. You made it, Don. You know, but you want to get a good 40 years out of them, don't you? Come on. You paid into that.
At least.
Yeah.
At least.
Okay, you have a great story that I love up on our website at WIBX950.com that you can check out. It is, the title is True Confessions of a Pro Wrestling Junkie by Don Leibel. And Don, I think I said to you after reading this story, what a life you have led.
Well, I did. And, you know, I also mentioned in the story, the closer you get to wrestling, and I don't take this, that it's something I came with. Bret Hart, a long-time, very decent pro wrestler, had said this. The closer you get to wrestling, the further you want to be from it. And it is so true. And, look, I've been away for a number of years by choice, but I spent the better part of nearly 30 years around wrestling, from when it was in smaller buildings to bigger buildings to national cable shows to small local TV shows. And I could tell you, throughout the years, someone once told me from the music industry, they said, next to the music industry, wrestling is the second dirtiest business, and it is. so much what the guys were and the women wrestlers and at times midget wrestlers, they were so abused by promoters. So many times shortchanged with money. They'd have to pay for their own transportation, pay for their own food, pay for their own motel or hotel. They were abused for so many years. But as one great wrestling manager, the late Bobby Heenan, said that wrestlers are cut out for two other professions other than wrestling. One, to be a professional prisoner, and two, to work in a circus. Yeah. And in most cases, that is true.
You know, you have some just some amazing stories from you traveled with them. You wrote for magazines about wrestling. Yeah. You actually were a manager at one point. I mean, you did so much.
Yeah, well, let me tell you about managing. Everybody, whether you're watching football, you're watching baseball, everybody, I could do it better, I could do this, I could do that. And if you actually put in that position to do it, as I was with wrestling, let me tell you something. It's frightening.
Yeah.
When you have to perform in a crowd, no matter what you do, and in my case, I was around hostile people because even though arenas will have security, somehow the security thinks it's okay for the people that paid for their ticket to either assault you, to throw something at you, to threaten you. And you cannot touch somebody because you will get arrested. I've seen that.
Yeah.
And what I used to do at the end of my matches to protect myself, because I was smaller and the crowds were hostile, I would make it a point that I would be knocked out unconscious in the script in the ring. So I would have to be carried out by the big guys that I was with. So I figured I had a good shot of not getting physically attacked. I've had people stick me with pins. I had people throw things at me. And you know, when you're in a ring, when you're, in my case, so when I would be on a show, I would take maybe 3 matches. And I have to remember everything I'm supposed to do and when I'm supposed to do it. Otherwise, it throws everything off.
Right.
And not only do you mess it up, but when you get back in the dressing room, somebody wants to slap the crap out of you. So you have to pay attention. And at the same time, when you have people trying to distract you, that you really have to have your A game on because so much is at stake.
Don, you've covered pretty much all the sports at one point or another. Are there any fans more passionate than wrestling fans?
No, and because the drama, people from the beginning of time. Now, I followed wrestling. I could talk wrestling from 1900 to 2000.
Wow.
Give me a name. I could tell you who they were, where they worked, everything about them. But particularly wrestling used to have, just like baseball, football, basketball, hockey, regional promotion. So people really got a sense of attachment to them and the local wrestlers they had. So they always were passionate. But I'll tell you something. One of the things why I wanted to get out of it, and I allude a little bit to this in my story, I was spending a lot of time towards the late 90s up to 2000 with Extreme Championship Wrestling. And anybody that followed that saw that was something that was different from what other people were doing. And the crowds, I really believe that at those shows were hoping for a death. I mean, they were beyond crazy. But I can remember, excuse me, I could remember picking up a very high-profile wrestler with ECW at Logan in Boston. And we were traveling from Boston to Worcester. And the wrestler had with him 2 bags, one with his wrestling gear, and the other one was filled with marijuana. And you know, I've never been one to use drugs, but I know when I see these little blocks of marijuana, I go, geez, I can't be in a car with this because if we get stopped or something, I'm going to get pinched for that.
Sure.
And by the time we drove from Boston to Worcester, with all the smoking going on in the car and all the pot that was packed into this bag that was being delivered to somebody else, I knew this is not what I grew up on. This is not what I want to be around with. And finally, the kicker was that same weekend, here I am, and I'm in the dressing room talking to a wrestler, and another guy comes up to me and just punches me in the stomach, and it was for real. And I was stunned. I go to myself, what the hell's going on here? And this guy was drunk. He was high, but he was mad because I didn't tell my friends who I was staying with where the party was the night before at the motel. And by the way, they were thrown out of 3 motels in Boston.
Wow.
Well, I decided to stay in the hotel, make sure the door was locked. It's winter. It's snowing. It's a week before Christmas. It's after midnight. One of the wrestlers is pounding on the door because he thinks somebody he's looking for is in the room. I had no way to get out. I opened the door. Was trying to make a run for it. He grabbed me by the collar. One thing led to another. He's demanding me to go buy him food. He's high. He's drunk. He's vomiting all over the place. I thought I was going to die. And I knew that night, I said, God, if you get me out of this, I'm running the hell away from this business because I've had it. It's changed too much. And one thing led to another. I was able to elude him. I bolted the door. I got dressed. I sat there at 3 o'clock in the morning. My friends come back into the room. I had them drive me to the bus station in downtown Boston. I got on my bus at 6 o'clock for Utica, and that was it. I said,
wow.
This place, it's just too out of control. And when you have guys like that with so much testosterone going, and you get in a room and you have 10 or 15 of the guys, and they're drinking, they're smoking, they're this, that.
Well, there's more. I think by the time you got into the 70s and 80s, it was more than just marijuana, right? I mean.
Oh, yeah.
I can remember some guys in our room where they would have contests with Soma. They would try to, it's like a pain relief, and they would take all these Soma tablets, and they wanted to see who would be the first one to be mummified, where they would just be frozen. And one of the wrestlers was over Soma, he was frozen, and another wrestler had a pit bull there, a baby pit bull. And that pit bull went up to the mummified wrestler, grabbed him by his earlobe, and for the better part of the evening, that was his toy, chewing on this guy's earlobe. I mean, but the one thing I do want to say is that, you can have your opinion on wrestling. I mean, look, tomorrow there's a major film coming out in the movies, The Iron Claw, starring Zac Efron, about the Von Erich family, which was a tragedy. 5 brothers died out of 6. And that's a whole nother story. But when I hear somebody say, that's fake, nothing gets me angrier than when somebody says it's fake. You could say it's predetermined. You could talk about storylines because 30 years ago they decided that, okay, we're going to admit to this, this, and this.
Right.
But when you fake, the injuries, when you see people falling from great lengths, sure, you learn how to absorb the fall, but you still take the fall. And I would say 8 out of 10 wrestlers get hooked on pain pills. They also get involved with alcohol so much to kill that pain, and it's just physically unforgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So I get angry when I hear fake because no, they're really getting hurt. Every time you're slammed, your organs are bouncing around. And they mess their necks up, their knees. It's just, so it is very physical.
And it's all in Don's story up on our website. You can check out. Also, Mike wants to know, ask Don if he's ever dealt with Bulldog Brower, Johnny Powers, and Haystacks Calhoun. They used to wrestle locally on KTV and UTR.
Right. Now, right there, he's talking about 1973 to 1975. I came across Haystack. I came across, and unfortunately, they always build him at 601 pounds. Amazing. But he, like many of the wrestlers, he couldn't be in the ring anymore. He had very bad diabetes. He lost his legs. He lived in Richardson, Texas. And his last several years living with his daughter, he lost so much weight, and it was really not a kind ending for Haystack. Bulldog Brower was, some people said he was a Nazi. He was a crazy guy in and out of the ring. And at one time he was married to his father-in-law was the head of Loblaw grocery stores throughout Canada and the United States. And Brower was just very unpredictable, just a very violent guy. Johnny Powers made a lot of money in the United States and in Japan. and he probably finished wrestling around 1980.
Okay.
And as far as I know, Powers is still alive.
All right. So, people have memories of all that stuff back then. Pretty crazy. Check out Don's story on our website, True Confessions of a Pro Wrestling Junkie by Don Leibel. Don, thanks. And I think we'll talk to you early tomorrow morning, as a matter of fact.
Tomorrow morning.
All right, good stuff.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Don. Happy holidays. Tomorrow morning is our Christmas extravaganza, 6 a.m. till noon, a whole bunch. I was going through the list yesterday. It is going to be crazy in here tomorrow. And it's sponsored by the Stanley Theater, and it's a Utica thing. Kitchen and Bar on Leland Avenue in North Utica, the best Italian food, lunch and dinner. All right, Jackie Izzo, Mayor Izzo, coming up next to WIBX.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. This holiday season, make your home shine with elegance from Adirondack Home Furniture. Wrap yourself in comfort and create warm holiday memories with family and friends on one of their beautiful sofas or sectionals handcrafted for togetherness. When it's time to eat, Adirondack Home Furniture's dining collection will be the centerpiece of your holiday feast. Celebrate a peaceful escape this year when you gift yourself an Adirondack Home Furniture bedroom transformation from the ordinary to a sanctuary of serenity and relaxation. Handcrafted perfection. Experience the magic of the season with Adirondack Home Furniture. Visit them today and let them help you create a home that's a reflection of your impeccable taste at Adirondack Home Furniture. Horatio Street in Utica at the former Riverside Mall. Browse their inventory online at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com. Happy holidays from Adirondack Home Furniture, where quality is not expensive, it's priceless.
Herkimer County, the Experience County, is your destination for winter fun. From the Thruway to the Adirondacks, Herkimer County has it all. Snowmobiling, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, ice fishing, and Adirondack skiing and snowboarding. All that family fun and great restaurants and lodging too. For details, click on experienceherkimercounty.com. Herkimer County, I love New York.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Okay, it's 8:46.
Just like the one.
Daylight Donuts, the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program. Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. There's still time to get on the list for the snowflake rolls for your holiday dinner. They're so good. Melt in your mouth, delicious. Try their lattes for the holidays, chocolate peppermint candy cane, gingerbread cookie, s'mores, the almond joy. These are so good. Fresh donuts made there, and of course that coffee is amazing. If you've not tried it, you will fall in love with Seattle's best. It's Daylight Donuts in New Hartford, with a very fast drive-through. Mayor Jackie Izzo on the line, spending her final days in office in the city of Rome. On the line right now. Jackie, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor. As you're not surprised, we're a little behind this morning. We apologize.
We blame
part
Andrew.
of the game.
Blaming Andrew all the way.
The tradition continues.
So
yes, it does.
So this is our first time chatting. And, you've had a long run, a very successful run in Rome. And it's very interesting. I still will run into people who will say, yeah, I don't have anything against Jackie. I think she really did a great job. But it's time for change. That was, if I heard it once, I heard it 100 times. Okay.
Well, that makes no sense to me because we weren't finished yet.
Yeah.
And we're leaving almost 38 projects that are all funded. Some are in the ground. Some will go in next year. It just that defies logic.
Yeah.
The DRI is still not completed. We should have been able to complete all of this and transition this correctly.
Yes. And it was certainly close, but a very heated. And it's very interesting, a very heated race. But beyond that, it was almost like a divided Rome. Half of Rome was with you; the other half was with the incoming mayor.
Rome is very divided right now.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, I think it's going to stay that way. I have just as many people telling me that they just don't understand the result, and especially people outside of Rome. We spent a lot of time. I think we really positioned Rome well for growth. I don't know now. I don't. The incoming mayor has no priorities. We haven't heard any plans, and that was the entire campaign. So part of me thinks this is part of what we're seeing nationally. Don't say much, just kind of tout change is coming, and but no specifics. Even at the debate, he didn't really answer a single question, and that's really kind of scary as we move along now.
Speaking of that, really the transition. Obviously, I would assume that you would have had conversations with him and his incoming administration or team. How is that going, and has that even occurred?
I have not had conversations with anyone on his team or him. We have made our department heads available. They have done interviews with him and Kim Rogers. But beyond that, that's really all that's occurred. Yeah. He's been to the police station, made some pronouncements there because that's what he knows. And I don't. There's really not an agenda other than I'm here.
Yeah. What is in store for you going forward?
Well, I certainly plan to go back to work, and I am looking now around to see what people might be interested in, or if they may be interested in me. I think I still have a lot to offer to our area, to the region, and I want to stay as involved as possible.
Now, does that mean any other possible political offices that you'll seek? Do you rule out maybe running again for mayor in the future? What are your plans or ambitions there?
I think right now I need to take some time to mentally decompress. And, it's been 9 straight years, counting the year that we ran in 2015. I've never had a vacation in all that time. I've really dedicated myself to moving the city along and being available so that Rome was always represented and at the table in different situations. And I think that worked well. We had a very well-oiled machine. The city looks good. It's never been in a better financial position than it is now in the last 30 or 40 years. And we're leaving $17.5 million in the bank. We haven't raised taxes in 7 years. And we were able to do all kinds of work and buy the best and the greatest equipment. And we moved the city along, I think, all the way around, including quality of life, infrastructure. The amount of grant money that we brought in was unprecedented. I don't think you'll ever see that again.
It is very interesting that when you look at the area, whether we're talking about Utica, even the Valley, what's going on at the Turning Stone, and what has happened in Rome, and in downtown, and at the base. This is the first time we were speaking. I don't know who I was talking to just this week about how it feels pretty good for the first time. Things are finally turning around. There's opportunity. You feel like maybe there's a chance that family members might be able to move home. There are so many job openings right now, high-paying job openings as well, and you get the feel that maybe we're in the we're on the cusp of something really, really big in recovery for the first time in upstate New York in 60 years. And with all of this, everyone else has reaped the benefit. But I just heard oftentimes on your situation, well, she needs to be more social. She needs to get, and I would always respond by saying, well, it amazes me that you're complaining that she's working too much, because that's really what
you want.
We're saying, and you didn't get to reap the benefits of all of the progress that's going on. It is. I will tell you this: it's the conundrum that I will live with in any campaign that I've worked on. This is the one that I just can't figure out completely.
Well, we were penalized for doing well. Really, that's what happened here.
Yeah.
And you're right. We brought a very business-like, professional approach to the government, and we proved that that works. I can't apologize to people for working hard. I'm sorry. That's how I'm built, and the results show. There will be 18 months to 24 months of construction here in Rome in the following years. That is all attributable to our administration. That's the way we had set it up. We wanted to keep Rome moving along and keeping up with the region. I think that that's very important. Next year we will most likely turn on water service to the town of Verona. Finally, that got done. And Rome should be doing things like that. Rome cannot survive as an island, insulated, and worried about small, petty issues. You have to have some vision. You have to keep looking at the future. And Rome should want to be bigger than it is. You hear that said, but I don't know that people really believe it.
Yeah.
We have an element here of people that are extremely negative. No matter what is proposed, they are going against it. And that's not just in the government. It's in the schools. It's in the healthcare system. And that's really sad because people are reading that on social media that are considering moving not only to Rome but this area, and they see that and they question it. They're saying, do I really want to come to that community? We have to, a lot of times we have to dispel that when we're talking to business leaders and other people that are looking to come here for a specific job.
Mayor Jackie Izzo, happy holidays. Congratulations on your time in office, and we'll see where it all takes you.
We appreciate you always being available,
and that's important. And we'll see where it takes you in 2024.
Well, thank you so much, and I want to wish everyone in your audience a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and hopefully I'll be talking with you again soon.
All right, thank
you so much. Maybe even tomorrow for the Christmas show.
That's possible,
Maybe
too.
even then.
Okay. All right, Jackie, thank you.
Okay,
right.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Mayor Jackie Izzo. Let me go to John Decker, Chief White House Correspondent for Gray TV. I have been yearning to talk to John since I saw what happened in Colorado. John, of course, is an attorney, and what are your thoughts on this, John?
Well, my thoughts are this is a remarkable action that the Colorado Supreme Court has taken. 4 Supreme Court justices from Colorado have essentially ruled that Donald Trump cannot be on the primary ballot on Super Tuesday on March the 5th, cannot be on the general election ballot next November. This will ultimately be decided by the U.S. Supreme Court, and I'm pretty confident that the Supreme Court will not let this ruling stand, and nor should they. I think that, when you look at Donald Trump, if you like him or you dislike him, one thing is clear. Actually, a few things are clear. One, he's never been charged with insurrection. He's never been convicted of anything, and this is a remarkable action to take by this Supreme Court for an individual who has not been charged with the specific crime that would prevent him from being on the ballot.
How important is it? I was reading an editorial this morning. It was saying that called Donald Trump dangerous. This person feels Donald Trump is the most dangerous candidate we have had, in the most dangerous political atmosphere we've had since the Civil War. Yet, believing that the Supreme Court, U.S. Supreme Court, needs to unanimously reject the Colorado court and allow the people to make the decision. Otherwise, it may send us into a place where, boy, he actually used the words civil war. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know about the Civil War part of the equation, but I do think that the Supreme Court ought to weigh in quickly, because other states will follow Colorado's lead. That's not the way that this process should work.
California's already talking about it.
You can vote against them. You can vote for their opponent. You don't just simply remove them from the ballot. And that's an incredible amount of power that 4 individuals in the state of Colorado have.
Well,
I don't know whether it's going to be unanimous. I haven't read the briefs. They haven't been filed yet or sat in the oral arguments. But that will happen in the early part, likely, of 2024. I'll be there for that, and I would imagine the Supreme Court won't let this ruling stand.
Yeah, the other part is, and Texas, by the way, is talking about in reaction taking Biden off the. I mean, this has just turned into a mess. And one last question with 30 seconds left: does your mind change if Trump is convicted of insurrection?
If what? If he's convicted of insurrection, that's different.
Yeah,
you know, that would be a jury of his peers weighing in on this particular issue. But he, unless there's a superseding indictment by Jack Smith that charges Donald Trump with insurrection. As things stand today, the special counsel has not charged Donald Trump with that specific crime. And nor was Donald Trump impeached on the issue of insurrection during his second impeachment. So that, to me, is why it's so troubling.
John Decker, have a wonderful holiday. Thank you so much.
You too, Bill.
We'll talk to you in 2024. Thank you.
I look forward to it. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
All right, John Decker with Gray TV, WIBX Utica Rome. Big day tomorrow, back here at 6 a.m. It's 9 o'clock.
Until the war's over. However, Fox's Trey Yingst reports from Tel Aviv, where Hamas rockets were shot down again today.
They're saying something else privately. Just yesterday, Ismail Haniyeh, the leader of Hamas, flew to Cairo, Egypt, to continue conversations about a possible deal. It comes as Israeli forces say they are close to completing the high-intensity ground operations in northern Gaza.
And for the 102nd time since the war broke out, American forces were targeted by Iran-backed militants, but a rocket missed at an air base in Iraq. Republican Congressman Corey Mills tells Fox.
This is because they do not fear the Biden administration. They know there is no retaliation. There is no repercussions to this.
Now, the U.S. has launched a few retaliatory strikes at those militants. We're still waiting on the Trump appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court challenging the Colorado ruling, kicking the former president off the primary ballot there, claiming he violated a Civil War-era provision of the Constitution over his role in the Capitol riot. President Biden says the courts will decide, but
he certainly supported an insurrection. No question about it. None. Zero.
California state officials are considering a similar attempt in that state. But the former president's not been charged with the crime of insurrection in his 2020 election indictments, and he remains by far the Republican frontrunner. In a new poll before that ruling,
former President Trump has 52% among likely Iowa Republican caucus goers in the latest Fox Business poll. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis comes in with 18%, and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley has 16%.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal.
As far as the issues go, 38% said economic issues are the most important ones, followed by immigration.
The day after prisoner swap with Venezuela released 10 people the U.S. says were held there illegally. One of them, known as Fat Leonard, is behind bars here, expected in court today. Leonard Francis fled the U.S. last year before he could be sentenced in a multi-million-dollar U.S. Navy bribery scheme. America's listening to Fox News.
Everybody needs an edge. The other guy is working on his edge right now, whether you have one or not. Testosterone levels are at an all-time low historically, and individual T levels in men decline 1% every year with age. There's a new champion of natural testosterone boosters, and it's called CHOQ. CHOQ. 100% natural herbal extracts with game-changing effects on your energy, mood,